Welcome to the Brian Craig Show. My name is Brian, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. Of course, what a crazy early morning, overnight of news that we've had. You know, I woke up this morning, and of course, the first thing I do before I get out of bed is I reach for my iPhone. You guys probably do the same thing, and I check what's going on in the news. First thing I do, and I saw that the police in the Nancy Guthrie case in Arizona had a suspect in custody, and they had handcuffed them and are questioning them. And I'm like, oh, wow. I jumped out of bed, took a quick shower, got dressed. I take very quick showers in the morning. Just like a few minutes go by, and I turn on the television, and I find out the guy's released. And a few minutes after that, he's got this press conference going on his doorstep. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is crazy. And of course, there's been a lot of action in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case since yesterday, right? We got the video from the front door, as well as the still images that were taken from it. And then, you know, and there's a lot to talk about with that because there's a lot of mystery with that. And then there was this around 5 in the afternoonish yesterday. SWAT teams, bomb squads, helicopters from the police department rush out of the police station. And every expert on every news channel, online and on television, are all saying the same thing. They would not deploy unless they had a target. And I'm waiting, nothing. And then I go to bed and wake up with this. So a lot has happened. We've gone from the sister and son-in-law's car being impounded after the sheriff got a warrant and the search of the home. Then yesterday we got the videotape from the front door, and then this last night. And I'm going to play for you the press conference of the guy. He did several interviews. I'll play them, as well as the, I guess, was that his mother-in-law that did an immediate interview before he was released and had his press conference. I'm going to play all of that. And, you know, the big takeaway I have from this suspect that they detained and released, as well as his family member that did the interview, I thought they were too calm, cool, and collected for what had happened here, right? I mean, you know, this very high-profile case. FBI is involved in everything. And they were too quick to go and talk to the media and too comfortable. Did you guys have that same feeling? So I'm going to go through all of this, and we are about a minute away from the radio show starting. And I will take your calls. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. I do have other stories I'm going to cover today. We're not going to be focused only on this, but this is going to be the lead story, what I'm starting with. And so far as the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case, I'm going to keep it open phones so far as that case is concerned. Does that make sense to you? You know, anything involving the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, you're welcome to call in about. It's open phones on that topic. But one of the questions I have, and I think this is the question on everyone's mind, especially after this guy was detained, because we were really looking at the sister and the son-in-law all week. Do you think, simple question, and you're welcome to call me about this. The number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. Was it an illegal or a family member? Was it an illegal or a family member? What do you guys think? All right, here we are. We're 5 seconds away. Stand by. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. It is Wednesday morning already. Welcome, one and all. This has been one of the craziest late night, overnight news stories I have seen maybe ever, okay? You know, yesterday afternoon, early in the afternoon, the early afternoon hours, right afternoon, we got the video from the doorbell camera at Nancy Guthrie's house in Arizona, And then, of course, all those stills from it. And then, boom, everyone was talking. And I am going to talk about that because it was very strange the way the person was dressed. I thought the strangest thing about that person that we see in the doorbell camera footage was the holster they had their gun in. I've never seen anyone have a holster like that. I saw one pundit on one of the news shows, one of the retired law enforcement people on one, because they're all over the place, right? They said that that's a common way that guns are carried in Mexico. I don't know about that. I don't know. I've never seen anyone carry a gun like that. That was a very strange way to have a pistol. And the video was terrifying. It looked like something out of a movie, like a serial killer coming to the house. It was terrifying. The ski mask, the oversized gloves to hide the hands, all of that. It was really terrifying. And I don't think I'm alone. I know my wife and I, we both were thinking, gosh, what must Savannah Guthrie be going through, and her sister and brother, if the sister didn't do it. Watching that terrifying video, could you imagine if that was your mother? I mean, my goodness, I would be physically ill if my mother was missing and then that video came out. I would be physically ill. It's just horrific beyond imagination. And it's so horrific, it's almost like it's not real, but it is. And pretty scary. And then a short time after that, a couple hours later, Fox News reports they got video, and then it explodes all over the place, that the SWAT team had it out. And you see the video of multiple SWAT team vehicles look like they're on a call because they were going fast right out of the police station. A short time later, it's reported there's helicopters and bomb squad too. And everyone is saying they would not leave without a target. I saw Officer Tatum on Laura Ingraham, and Officer Tatum, they would not leave without a target. These guys don't go hang out and party. They got a target. Okay. And I'm waiting. I see nothing. During all of that, though, earlier, before Laura Ingraham, Harvey from TMZ is on CNN doing an interview, and since he had possession of the ransom note, he has the crypto account number. He says there was activity in the crypto account, and I'm like, oh my! So I mean, it was a full day. It started around a little bit before noon that we were going to get video or pictures. We were going to get photos of the suspect, and then we ended up getting a video with the stills from the video. And from a little bit before 12 o'clock until just a couple hours ago, things were nonstop and developing. So Harvey Levin from TMZ says, well, there was some, I can't say anything about it, but there was some activity. And then an hour or two go by and we find out there was a deposit of, $300 into the crypto accounts. Everybody's first thought, oh, Savannah Guthrie or NBC paid the ransom. And then we find out they deposited $300. And I told my wife, I said, well, maybe they're just doing a test to make sure the deposit works, right? You ever send someone money and you want to make sure that, it works, so you send them, a small amount, not the full thing, and then when they tell, oh, yeah, I got it, you send the rest? Do that all the time, right? If you Zelle people money, you ever do that? You send like $10, and then they go, okay, I got it, okay, and then you send the real amount, the rest of it. People do that all the time, and I figured, well, that's what they're doing. But it looked like they were trying to trigger some activity or notifications, I guess, on that account to smoke out a suspect. But, not, so I saw the $300 deposit. Nothing came of that. So I went to sleep. But I set my alarm early. And I got up really early this morning. And then I saw, oh, they've got a suspect in custody. They've cuffed him. And the FBI was involved, according to Ashley Banfield, that the FBI was involved. He was handcuffed. He was questioned. I was like, well, wow, this is they got him. And then I see I guess, is it his mother-in-law, aunt, whatever. I'll play this, her interview later. She did this amazing interview. The guy from News Nation got this scoop with the older lady, the relative of the guy that was detained. And of course, it was all denials from her. And the interview was really dramatic because to get an interview like that going on with this is really unheard of. And I was like, wow, this is crazy to have an interview like this. And then the next thing we know, they release the guy and his car, and he's holding a press conference at the front door of his home. Now, after the first break, I'll start playing the audio and video from the detained suspect, the older relative, and everything else. So right now we're in a waiting period. So I want to. I've got other topics other than the Nancy Guthrie issue today, but this is obviously the lead story and the biggest story in America today. So this is what I'm going to talk about here in the beginning of the show, and I'm going to open up the phone. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to open up the phones as open phones only if it involves the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, missing persons case, okay? It's open phones as regarding the Savannah Guthrie family case here, okay? It's not open phones. It's not even open phones light. It's open phones involving the Guthrie case. Any thoughts, observations, anything you have to contribute about that case, it's open phones as far as that goes, just that case, okay? It's not open phones, that's Friday, but it's open phones so far as the Guthrie case right now while we're talking about it. The number's 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I'm going to go to your calls after the break. I'm going to play all these interviews and press conferences that the suspect had and all that, too, coming up. But I want to ask you this question. With everything that's gone on up until this point, with the latest, with this detainee, do you think it was a family member or an illegal who abducted Nancy Guthrie? An illegal or a family member? An illegal or a family member? Everything's been looking at the sister and the son-in-law, but now with these latest developments, and kidnapping is big in Latin America. It really is. It is big, big, big in Latin America. We all know this. It's big in other countries too around the world. Kidnapping is not a regular thing here, but what are they, 50 miles from the Mexican border? So my question to you right now is, and I'd like you to call and share your thoughts on this and why, an illegal or a family member at 888-465-2631. But it is open phones only so far as the Guthrie missing persons kidnapping case, okay? It's not open phones. It's open phones just involving that case, because I know a lot of you have been following it, and maybe you have some thoughts and observations from things that you've seen that maybe I've missed that are interesting. All right. I want to remind you guys that it is free shipping at mypillow.com with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. During the entire mega sale, it's free shipping on every order. No matter how small or large the order is, it is free shipping on every order in the mega sale with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. This is your time to load up, not just for Valentine's Day over the weekend, Mother's Day, Father's Day, any occasions over the years, or maybe you want to do some Christmas shopping. All the MyPillow products come so well packaged and wrapped. They stay like the MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets that we got for our guest room. You see, they come in these great packages, and you can order for Christmas or any other occasion during the year and just keep it in your closet until the right time comes, and they make great gifts. Free shipping is a once-a-year thing, and it will end without notice. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, or order by phone toll-free 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE. Call us on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. All right, guys, I got to grab my coffee. I left my coffee in the other room. Hold on. So what do you guys think? An illegal or a family member? An illegal or a family member? 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. They did not pick this guy up randomly. Now we'll go through all of it. Oh man, I tell you, it is. Let's see here. Okay, we'll be back shortly. If you want to call in, the number is toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You know, this case, out of the national cases similar to this over the years, like yesterday I mentioned Elizabeth Smart and Natalie Holloway and a few others. This is the first one where we've had the modern media at the level we've had it, and we're getting news and information in real time every step of the way, and it's a new thing, isn't it? I mean, we're getting information so quick and unfiltered, and this is what you want, because I mean, this is the fake news can't fake it if we're getting everything unfiltered in real time like this. You know what I mean? And the new media is really shining right now. And this guy here with his press conference.
You were apprehended for questioning. How would you describe what happened to you?
Terrifying. Something I didn't do for something. I was being like, I felt like I was being kidnapped, bro. Because they didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
Felt like I was
and
being
investigators
kidnapped.
showed up to this house, or were you the one who was pulled over in the traffic stop?
I was the one that was pulled over at the traffic stop.
Where was that?
Right here on by Chubasco.
Okay, and you were taken into custody at that point?
Yeah.
And you were...
I was being detained.
Detained, okay.
I was detained the whole time.
Okay,
That's what they told me.
Where were they
At
holding
the
you?
back of a car.
Back of
a
a car.
Miranda car, and then they moved me into a Pima County Sheriff.
Were you being questioned in the car?
At the Miranda car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me for my first name, my last name, my date of birth, and my social.
Okay. What were they asking you about?
Where my whereabouts.
Okay.
Where do I work? Where was I, and all that. But
Are you ever up in Tucson?
yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know. Might have been a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah, do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you were...
Okay, now, you know, this thing here, I'll ask you guys, does he seem too calm, cool, and collected for you after what he's gone through? And when he says, well, maybe, I don't know if I delivered a package, in a high-profile case like this, and you're in the community, and we'll be back on the air in about a minute, I think you would know if you'd been to the house. I think it would be front and center in your mind if you had been to the house. Yeah, and the guy in the mask did have a mustache. I don't know how common mustaches are out in Arizona, but yeah, he did have a mustache. I would like to have seen the shoes the guy was wearing. Wouldn't you? They did not show us his shoes in these press conferences. That first thing I'd be looking at were the guy's shoes to see if they look like the shoes from the video, wouldn't you? But, you know, the press, they were so excited to be there and talk to the guy that had just got released. I guess they weren't thinking of the shoes. All right, now if you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? We've got about 15 seconds. Stand by. Eight seconds. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. So I want to play this. This is part of the press conference that the detained guy had after he was released at the front door of his home.
You were apprehended for questioning. How would you describe what happened to you?
Terrifying. Something I didn't do for something. I was being like, I felt like I was being kidnapped, bro. Because they didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
And investigators showed up to this house, or were you the one who was pulled over in the traffic stop?
I was the one that was pulled over at the traffic stop.
Where was that?
Right here on by Chubasco.
Okay, and you were taken into custody at that point?
Yeah.
And you were...
I was being detained.
Detained, okay.
I was detained the whole time.
Okay,
That's
where?
what they told me.
Where were they
At
holding
the
you?
back of a car.
Back of
a
a car.
Miranda car, and then they moved me into a Pima County Sheriff.
Were you being questioned in the car?
At the Miranda car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me.
What's a Miranda car, by the way? What's a Miranda car? Does that mean that's where they Mirandized him? What does that mean, the Miranda car?
Being questioned in the car?
At the Miranda car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me for my first name, my last name, my date of birth, and my social.
Okay. What were they asking you about?
Where my whereabouts.
Okay.
where do I work, where was I, and all that. But
Are you ever up in Tucson?
yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay. Do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know, might have been a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you may?
Okay. Don't you think the guy's a little too cool to coast? And he talked about the Miranda car. I'm assuming that they read him his rights, and that's what he means. I've never heard someone refer to a Miranda car before. I mean, now this is just me, but I'm a normal guy, okay, you know. If I get Mirandized, I'm freaking out, right? Yeah, I'm freaking. Wouldn't you be freaking out if you were getting Mirandized? Mirandized means you're going away. You're going away. So is that what he means by the Miranda car? He was read his rights. This is not this guy's first run-in with the law. He's using this Miranda car language, which I've never heard. And I mean, how many of you? I know some tough guys. Oh, I'm tough. They can Mirandize me. I'll run the jail. Yeah, BS. Okay, unless you're a criminal. But if you're a normal law-abiding person, you get Mirandized. That's terrifying, right? Especially if you didn't do anything. If you didn't do anything and you're Mirandized, that's when that's even scarier, right? You're a regular law-abiding person like I am, and most of you are, I hope, in the listening audience, and you get your rights read to you. That would be a first in a lifetime event for me. I'd be freaking out. This guy here, he seemed to know how the process worked and didn't seem worried. All right, let's take some calls. All right, you're on hold. Okay, you go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie. Good
Hey,
morning,
Richie.
Brian.
Yep.
I didn't get much sleep last night because all day long I watched this particular YouTuber who lives in Florida. The end of his thing is investigates. He actually flew out there. He flies to the border wherever there's any kind of murder or anything. He's involved. He gets involved. He doesn't have a license, but I actually followed him all the way to that guy's house. He actually was at.
Oh, the guy that was detained and released.
Yeah, he went all the way there and everything like that.
Creepy house. Wasn't it a creepy house?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what I think's going on here. President Trump sent in the FBI, and the sheriff's department didn't want it. That's out in the open. They didn't want the FBI involved.
Yeah.
Because President Trump did it. Once again.
Well, this is a Democrat town. Remember, Mark Kelly lives in this town, and Savannah Guthrie's mother trashed Trump on social media, right? So this is a liberal town, and it's like New Orleans didn't want federal help because GW was president, and they hated Bush so much, they didn't want federal help from Bush after Hurricane Katrina. And there's a similar aspect here, and I think they would like to cover up. If it wasn't illegal, they'd probably like the story to go away.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that the sheriff is probably left wing to left wing.
Oh yeah.
And I hate to bring politics into this, but I think this is the big problem. And I think what happened last night, first of all, the FBI was canvassing all day around that neighborhood by her house, both houses. So the sheriff all of a sudden shoot out there with the SWAT and the bomb units and everything like that. The FBI did not go out to this house. The FBI was not involved in this particular arrest and detention.
Ashley Banfield said the FBI was at the scene where the guy was detained. Ashley Banfield reported that. Now maybe there's been an update and they haven't, but her reporting was that not that they detained him, but they were on the scene. That maybe they came after, but
they might have they might have got there at the end. But this was all the sheriff that did this. I believe they jumped the gun and got the wrong guy, and it's mud in their face. They're back to square one. Here we go again. And I don't believe this guy was involved whatsoever. Not at all.
So you're still sticking with the family member, the sister, brother-in-law.
No, I don't know who did. I don't know family, brother-in-law.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the thing. This is the thing. They dropped $300 into that crypto account.
Yeah, but I got an answer for that. Let
me finish for people that may not have heard. Okay, and to me that was to probably trigger a note. My first thought, of course, was everyone they paid the ransom, but they did. It was $300. It was to trigger the account to see if there was if the ransom note writer or the kidnapper went to the account to see if they could trace the IP address, because
Exactly,
the
you're
feds,
right.
you know, but this guy was detained not long after all that, right? So I was
I get what you say. The FBI, there was somebody on a digital expert,
Yeah.
that said exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
That was triggered by law enforcement. So
Yeah.
so that $300 was just to get that activated to see if there was any activity.
I don't
whatsoever.
believe the story that crypto accounts, that you can't trace them. I think that the FBI, the federal government, I mean, look at the technology they use to get Maduro, the military.
Yeah,
they
but
have technology that can track that stuff. It's not like in the movies.
Yeah, but you can't trace it when it goes to a foreign country. Some foreign countries
Don't be so
are
sure about
hostile
that.
to us.
Don't be so sure. I would not
Well,
be. I would
here's
not be so sure about that.
But I don't. I think they're back to square one. I looked at it, when I saw the image of this guy. The first thing I did, I went to Tucson, Arizona, and I went to ski masks with 3 holes.
Yes.
And believe it or not, you know who sells that exact mask with the outline of the eyes and everything else? Target. Not Target, Walmart in Tucson sells that.
Yeah.
So I believe that it's going to take time. I think the FBI is methodical. I think they're going
But
to
you know,
catch
the video from the door, I know they keep saying amateur, maybe because he used the weeds to try to cover up the camera. But he was really trying to hide his identity with the gloves. He didn't even want the size of his hands.
Obvious.
But one of the tells to help identify, I've never seen someone have a holster like this guy had, hanging over, in the middle, just hanging out there like that. That was so weird.
They said that's a thing that a lot of Mexicans do.
That's right. That's right. I heard that. I heard that yesterday. That's a thing in Mexico.
Yeah, Mexican gangs. And he also had that backpack, so if he had to get to the gun quick. But it looked like he listen, he was in the house 40-something minutes. He took his time. So he didn't. I'm going to say
he didn't have any. He didn't have any fear that someone would be coming. They were very confident.
You want to talk about? I'm going to say this: elderly neglect at the top line. Here's a woman on NBC. Her mother's living in an isolated place in the middle. I said that to you yesterday. This is neglect as far as I'm concerned.
With no lights.
They should have had a big dog in that house.
Yeah.
They should have had a big dog in that house or something. You can't leave an old lady in a place like that in the middle of the desert in a hut, basically, and no neighbors around, no lights,
no street lights, because you don't want to have light pollution.
85-year-old woman.
Yeah.
85-year-old woman. This is elderly neglect. I'm sorry. Sometimes people with money are stupid. My mother lived on her own, but I lived in the same condominium at the time, so I kept my eye on her.
No,
I
don't. My mother's retired in her 70s. She does not live alone. You can't
do that.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. Brian, it's incredible. But they're back to square one, and I believe the FBI will eventually get this guy, but it'll be through electronics. I don't believe it's going to be through anything else.
I wonder what effect this, if they, see, I believe that they have technology that the government has technology to track all crypto transactions. Okay, I don't believe that they're untraceable no matter where they go. Now that doesn't mean that they use it commonly. It's probably used just for intelligence purposes if that technology exists. But if they find if they find this person through the crypto, I wonder what impact that'll have on the crypto markets. Right? Are people going to lose trust in the crypto markets if crypto tracking is used to bring this person to justice?
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons they got into it. They didn't want anybody knowing where they're putting their money.
Exactly.
I'm going to say one other thing. I'm going to. The last thing I'm going to say to you is that to me, this thing is totally nuts. I don't think the woman is alive.
Oh no.
I think they're searching.
Highly unlikely.
It's a long timer. And I think.
Well, who do you think did it? Who do you think did it?
It could be an illegal because that whole area is full of illegals.
When this first broke in the news, when it first hit the news, my wife said it's an illegal.
Yeah. Well, that whole area. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, these are liberal nut jobs, and I'm sorry to see this going on and on and on. But we're back to square one.
All right, Richie. I got to run. I'm late for the break. Take care.
One.
All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Your thoughts are certainly. It's open phones only so far as the Guthrie kidnapping case goes. Okay. So your thoughts on this certainly are welcome. The number's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
This Valentine's Day, love speaks in the details, in the quiet moments, the shared smiles, the surprise that says, I was thinking of you. Because the most meaningful gifts don't just arrive, they arrive with feeling. At Brevelio, every choice is made to elevate love and unforgettable moments together. This is where passion meets intention and giving becomes an experience. Celebrate Valentine's Day with a special limited time promo code, DATELOVE10, available through February 14th. Visit Brevelio.com, spelled BRAVELLIO.com, and let love take the lead. Brevelio, crafted for moments that last. This Valentine's Day, love is in the air, and magic is just a moment away. Picture the smile, the surprise, the quiet gasp when they open something chosen just for them. Because the best gifts aren't just given, they're felt. At Carlita's Way, every moment is designed to spark connection, passion, and unforgettable moments. Celebrate love, big or small, with something that says, you matter. Visit carlitasway.com. That's CARLITASWAY.com and enjoy a special discount with promo code AMORE10 for an exclusive discount or bonus valid through February 14th. Carlita's Way, for the moments that mean everything. When the world feels cold, let love be your warmth. At Scenery, we bring you the perfect pieces for cozy moments, sweet celebration, and heartwarming gifts that make every day feel special. Our collection is designed to wrap your loved ones in affection and joy. Use promo code HEARTS10 for an exclusive discount that expires on February 14th. Head to scenery.com, SCENAREE.com, and let this Valentine's Day be filled with love and beautiful memories. Scenery, where love is always cozy and celebrated.
All right, we are about 40 seconds away. We'll be back on the radio in about 40 seconds or so, 35 seconds. And if you're on hold, stand by. Your thoughts are certainly welcome at 888-465-2631. This is the mother-in-law of the guy who was detained. And when we get back in about 20 seconds, I'm going to share that. This case, what an exciting night of news. I mean, I'm a news junkie. You guys got to be news junkie. News and politics. If this isn't illegal, it's going to be a big, well, we'll talk about that. Stand by. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Okay, now News Nation. Right after this was like, I don't know. I'll see if there's a time on this of when this happened. But so the guy gets detained. He's cuffed. He's being questioned. And News Nation got a big scoop. Like right away, they're interviewing. I believe this is the mother-in-law of the guy who was detained and released. And she was adamant with her denial.
I'm outside the house that is now being searched where this subject lived, we're told.
Okay, so this interview was at 9:47 Mountain Time. So that's 11:47 here on the East Coast. So right before midnight.
I'm outside the house that is now being searched where this subject lived, we're told. There was a traffic stop close by. This is the subject being questioned in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This is Josephina.
Yes.
This is her house, and the subject is her son-in-law.
Yeah,
is
my
that right?
son, yeah.
Tell me how this happened. Where was he when he was detained?
My daughter and him were, and the kids, my grandkids, were doing door dashing when they got stopped here, and I don't know what kind of questions they asked them. But when we got home, I wasn't at home. When we got home, we found out that they took my son out. They went inside, they busted the doors from my house. They went inside and took my son to the living room and had him handcuffed, and then got him outside. That's when the time that we got home, and we asked what was going on, and they couldn't say anything. And they said, and I asked him to have a search warrant to go in my house. And they said, we don't need a search warrant. We could go do that if we want to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, do you have a search warrant? Wow. I mean, they're pretty, I just got to tell you, the way that this family is reacting, does this sound like their first run-in with Johnny Law? Right? Here's the mother-in-law. Well, do you have a search warrant? Are you kidding? Come on in. I did nothing wrong. There's no kidnapped lady in here. And then this guy, he was too cool. When he had his press conference there, too cool to coast, talking about the Miranda car and everything. It just, I don't know. I just think that they're too calm, cool, and collected. That's just me.
We got home, and we asked what was going on, and they couldn't say anything. And they said, and I asked him to have a search warrant to go in my house. And they said, we don't need a search warrant. We could go do that if we want to. So I told them, yeah, I think you need a search warrant. Why did you break my door? You took my son the wrong way. I mean, you hurt him. His wrists were put the handcuffs.
Let me ask you, were you familiar with the Nancy Guthrie case? Had you seen that she was missing?
I saw it on Facebook, but since I don't know her, I didn't read what was going on.
Okay, now a couple things here. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll get to the calls in a bit. I know a lot of people say, well, how could she not know? And I know that's hard to believe, but if you live in a Spanish-speaking world, you may not know who Savannah Guthrie is, right? So it's possible. And this guy, he was out door dashing with his wife and kids, and he delivers packages for another company. So I'm guessing he pinged in that area around the time that the porch video that was released yesterday was recorded.
Did they take electronic devices at all? Did they take your phone?
I don't have anything. They took my phone.
They
took my phone, my husband's phone, my daughter's phone, my grandkid's phone, and my son-in-law's phone.
Let me show you these pictures really quick, Josephina, of, just give me a second, I gotta pull them up on my phone. These are the pictures from outside Nancy Guthrie's house. This is who they're looking for. Do the eyes look like your son-in-law at all?
No, not at all.
Do you see the mouth?
Yeah, no. He doesn't look at all.
I'm going to tell you, this is good reporting right here. News Nation's all right. I watched them. I watched News Nation when they had that jailbreak a few years ago. Remember when that lady prison guard helped that guy break out, and it ended badly for her. He's alive in jail. And News Nation they do very, very good coverage when there's live breaking crime like this, News Nation. And this guy's doing some good reporting, isn't he?
Brian, can you ask what her son-in-law's
what's
name
his
is?
name?
It's Carlos. Carlos Palazuelos.
Sorry, what's his name?
Carlos.
Carlos.
Yes.
And what's his last name?
Palazuelos.
Okay.
I don't know, yeah. So.
And does he work in Tucson? Would he ever be in Tucson?
He's in Tucson all week. He works delivering boxes for like UPS and he works with a company. And I told him, you can call the company that he works there and verify that he's working. And
is your daughter also detained?
No, they just let my daughter and my grandkids go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Josefina.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the latest here, Jesse. They took her phone too, her husband's phone, and her daughter's phone, and obviously her son-in-law's phone, and they are searching her house right now. So this is sort of an unfolding situation.
Well, I mean, this is some breaking news. So this is what I wake up to. I was like, what is going on here? All right, back to the phones. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, man. How are you this morning?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, look. I just want to say this about this Savannah Guthrie's mother. A lot of people are saying, why is she staying by herself? Brian, if you know elderly people, you can't do nothing with them. If they want to stay by themselves, they're going to stay by themselves.
Uh-huh. That's true.
So, and that's all I'm saying.
Well,
and
yeah,
like
but while what you're saying is true, as when you are an adult child, okay, and you're a person of means, like Savannah Guthrie, who's a millionaireess, a multimillionaireess, you can do some things to make life safer for your mom in an area where she's isolated, alone, and there's no lights. Like have the cameras hooked up where they're recording, or have a caregiver.
Brian, how
there's
you know
all kinds
she
of
didn't
things.
do that? And how you know her mother didn't turn them off?
Because
her mother disconnected them.
we don't know what we don't know, but they said that none of these cameras were. As a child, it is up to you to. This is something new to me because my mother's in her mid-70s. She's retired. She doesn't work, right? And I take some precautions to take care of her. That it's a new thing to me. Things I never thought I would do. She does not live alone, and other things. And when you are an adult child, and you have the ability to make sure they're not alone and isolated, you'll do it. Especially especially in a situation like Nancy Guthrie, who's not mobile.
All that's good and fine, Brian. But like I said, I have a mother, and she's hard, love her to death, but she's hard-headed as she wants to be. And she had a fall a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she had to go in the hospital. And we did told her 100 times not to do it, and she does it anyway. And she is who she gonna be, and we can do all we can for them. But they are stubborn, Brian. And they all parents. We love them. We do the best we can with them. But you know how? At the end of the day, they're gonna do whatever they want to do. You can have $1 million to protect her as much as you can.
No, what happens when you have an elderly parent like Nancy Guthrie who's not mobile, right? She's not mobile, and you are a multi-millionaire, you can make sure that they're checked on. You can make sure that you can. And what you do, yeah, sure. What you do in a situation like that is you make sure that they have this, I talk about this incredible free offer from Sloman's. You hear me talk about? You just call and do it. You just call and do it. You get the security hooked up and turned on and everything else. You do it for them. You don't leave it to them. You just do it.
Again, Brian, like I said.
I mean, if you remember many years ago, Dr. Laura, this was the beginning of the end of Dr. Laura's career. Some of you may not even know who she is anymore. Dr. Laura was a nationally syndicated radio personality who did an advice show, and she was always controversial. There were two things that happened that drove her off the radio, but the first, there were three things that happened. She was conservative in her advice, and liberals like you were always out to destroy her. And there were three things that were involved with her that ran her into obscurity. But one of them was her mother died. Her elderly mother died. And nobody knew for days. I can't remember how many days, but it was many days. And no one knew, okay? And there was all this talk about, Dr. Laura is famous and rich. She should have made sure that someone was checking in on Mom, and she didn't do it. And there's just no way to, there's just no way to leave your parents.
In the end, we do what we can. We do what we can for them. But in the end, they still have the all in mind.
Yeah, but see, what you do is you call and you get the security system hooked up, and you pay for it. You pay for it. You call and do it, and you pay for it, and it's hooked up.
when that guy goes there to hook it up, she gonna say get out of my house. And what you gonna do?
Really?
Nothing.
Your mother would. So if you went over to your mom's house and said, "Mom, I have the guy coming over. I paid for it. The security system's getting hooked up today, and I'm going to stay here while he does it." Your mother would.
And that's her home.
Your mother would
That's
kick
her
you out.
home.
Your mother would kick you out of the house.
She won't kick me out. She wouldn't kick me out. She kicked the guy out, and he's like, he would have to leave.
Well, I
Because
guess
she
you
doesn't
shouldn't
want me in the
even.
house.
Then I guess you shouldn't even try.
You should try.
It seems
Brian,
like
but
you're
again, our
assuming
parents
a lot.
are hard-headed, Brian.
It seems like you're
You know
assuming
how-
a lot.
Okay, Brian, I'm my personal experience, and that's it. Bottom line, bro. You
All right.
can say whatever you want about your man. I can say about mine.
So what do you think?
And we do the
You
best
think
we can.
who do you think did this? The family
I
or
don't
an
know.
illegal?
I don't know.
You don't have any-
Okay, you want to be illegal so bad. You could be illegal so bad. Why you want to be illegal?
I want
so
that.
bad?
No, I want Nancy Guthrie found alive. Is what I want.
I'll do too. But why do you want to be illegal so bad?
I didn't say I wanted
did
to
you
be
say?
an illegal. You said that.
You did say it. You did.
I've
say it.
been
Why did
saying.
you say
I
you
have been
did?
saying all week. I've been
did?
saying all week
Okay.
that most murders are family members.
Yep.
And I've been saying that and I've been leaning towards the son-in-law throughout this whole mess. All right, Doc, take care. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number's toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Hey, guys, call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax. It is tax time. Oh, man. I got all my documents together. I'm ready to go. Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. Not only does he know the new tax code inside and out, and you got to remember the entire tax code has changed with the big, beautiful bill. But with Jamie Levac, you get concierge level service with Jamie Levac from Swift Tax. He can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located in the United States. He'll make sure you get all the deductions you're entitled to under the law and the largest return that you're owed. And with Jamie Levac, you can get your return in as little as 24 hours. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. Call or text 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. We'll be right back.
Sports talk is everywhere, but if you're tired of those same old boring shows, there's a podcast you'll want to add to your podcast playlist right now. Height Differential. The Height Differential podcast brings you the games, the stories, and the moments that matter from two completely different perspectives. Host Nick stands at 4'10" and Neil at 6'6". And when it comes to sports takes, debates, and opinions, the difference, it's just as big. These two friends break down sports from way up high and closer to the ground with big takes, hot debates, real laughs, with no boring panels, no recycled talking points, just honest, entertaining sports conversations you'll actually want to tune into. New episodes drop each week, covering the moments everyone's talking about and the ones everyone should be talking about. Find Height Differential on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and everywhere else you get podcasts, as well as HeightDifferential.com. Do yourself a favor. Add the Height Differential podcast to your playlist right now and get sports talk from a whole new angle. Need a Valentine's gift? Well, flowers die, chocolate melts. A movie poster from JustMoviePosters.com is forever, or close enough. Most items are between $7 to $15. Shipping extra. Go to JustMoviePosters.com to find that special movie poster today. JustMoviePosters.com. Patriots, listen up. If you believe information keeps America free, there's a podcast you will want to add to your podcast playlist. No Retreat, Moving Forward, with host Cheryl Ann. No Retreat cuts through the noise and focuses on substance, not spin, in a time when headlines are moving fast and facts matter more than ever. No Retreat is where you can go for real conversations. Each episode of No Retreat brings you concise, straightforward conversations with people who live and work in the real world. world. Candidates seeking office, business owners building American jobs, citizens who care deeply about the direction of this country, and that's just the beginning. These aren't scripted talking points. These are discussions designed to help you understand the issues, the values, and the people behind them, so you can decide for yourself what truly matters. On No Retreat, you'll also hear from notable political voices and emerging leaders making news right now. If you value independent thought, civic engagement, and staying informed beyond the headlines, this is the podcast for you. Add No Retreat moving forward to your playlist right now on Spotify and iHeartRadio. And make sure to share No Retreat moving forward on all your social media so your friends can listen in too. No Retreat, moving forward with Cheryl Ann. Tune in right now.
All right, we are about 90 seconds away from returning on the radio. We're still in radio station break, so if you're on hold, stand by, and I'll go to the phones when we get back. The thing about the person at the front door who obviously was involved, does that, I haven't seen any physical comparison attempts made between the person at the front door and the son-in-law. Have you? How tall is the son-in-law? And the pants that the guy was wearing in that doorbell camera, they were tight enough where you get a good look at the shape of their lower body, and compare that to the son-in-law. I hadn't seen anything like that. The fact they were in the house for 45 minutes shows that they were very comfortable. We'll be back in less than 30 seconds. And I will go back to the phones. If you'd like to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. 15 seconds and we'll be back. 888-465-2631. We're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Yes, I've been watching your show this morning.
Yes.
And I have questions about the Savannah Guthrie's mother's situation.
Mm-hmm.
How come she didn't have a medical alert necklace on her neck that can also alert the company if they have fallen? She could have pushed the button if
Great
she
question.
were... I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yes. And how come there are not inside cameras, since she's living alone, that if the family said, "Where is Mom? Let's look at the camera inside the house to see if we see her." How come she did not have a service dog? And now that they had detained and let go a Hispanic, this will give the left something to say racism.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say that the left has not concocted this to take awareness away from Minneapolis? What's going on there?
You mean orchestrated the entire kidnapping?
Well, it's just funny how everything's been going, and it took them several days to go back to do the luminol at night.
Mm-hmm.
They should have had dogs immediately checking all of the surrounding property for any scent to see if she had walked away.
Yeah.
Out in the desert.
Well, that video from the doorway bell camera yesterday, that was terrifying. I mean, that's like you've got BTK coming to the house, or Ted Bundy. It was terrifying video.
Yeah. Remember at first, though, they said that camera was not hooked up to the company.
Well, the FBI, Kash Patel talked about this. Kash Patel talked about this. They have technology, and they were working with Google and have spent the last few days assembling that footage. That the FBI has technology local cops don't have, where they can do things like that. So I don't think there's anything around.
Okay.
Obviously, the sheriff is a clown. Okay, I mean, yesterday a pizza delivery driver walked right up to the front door of Nancy Guthrie's house to deliver a pizza, and nobody stopped him. Yeah. I mean, they're a bunch of clowns in Tucson.
I know that's why this whole thing is being screwed up.
The last caller I talked to, Doc from Texas, I was talking about an adult child's responsibility with elderly parents, especially when they're not mobile like this. Would you consider Savannah Guthrie to have kind of neglected her mother?
Yes, especially being only 10 miles away or a 10-minute drive away. They should have drove her home themselves, made sure she was inside the house, already had her nightgown on, ready for bed.
Yeah, how would you? I mean, how could you let your elderly mother like that get into an Uber? I mean, I take Ubers and Lyfts on occasion, and all due respect to you guys out there that are rideshare drivers, a lot of them are weird and creepy, aren't they?
I myself would not take one. I would not take
Women
one.
should not.
I would be afraid.
Women should not. Certainly not alone. Not alone. Women should not take a rideshare alone, ever.
But she should have had a service dog that was also trained in, protection.
See,
she should have had a service dog.
Here's the thing, okay? With my daughter, as an example, okay? My daughter had an incident last year with an Uber driver. She got it in her head. She flew back here from California, and she couldn't wait for me to go pick her up. She flew in at a strange time. She took an Uber. And on the way to our house, the Uber driver canceled the ride while she was in it, which means like she wasn't in the car. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was on the air. And I didn't know any of this was going on, and she sent a text immediately to my mother-in-law, who got involved with my her grandfather, my father-in-law, who's a big guy, and it turned out well, but it was terrifying. And I told her then and there, never again take rideshare alone unless you're with someone. You know?
I remember you talked about that.
And like she was just out in Los Angeles, and typically what she likes to do is take an Uber to where she's staying. My wife and I paid for her to have a rental car, so she wouldn't have to do the ride share at all. We paid for. So when you're a parent or an adult child, you've got to reach into your pocket and insist. You've got to insist.
Yeah.
And especially,
my mother lived alone.
Mm-hmm.
We always had a boxer or something, big dog. But I would go check on her every single day. I would call her every single day. She was never unchecked every day.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, the dog was basically a guard dog.
Yeah, Nancy Guthrie most definitely should have had a dog. And, because of Savannah Guthrie's wealth, right, she's got unlimited resources to take care of things. There should have been, if she just called the Sloman's free offer I talk about, she'd have the perfect security system for her mom. And you order it, you pay for it, and if you have to, you go there when they come and install it. And you say, this is the way it is, Mom.
No gate around the home?
What's that?
How come no gate around? How come no security gate around the home?
Yeah. I mean, because these are this house is the house that Nancy Guthrie or that Savannah Guthrie grew up in. So this is like a pre-famous house, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, why not a fence?
I don't know. These liberal do-gooders in this neighborhood, which includes the Guthries, who have no street lights because they don't want to give light pollution off. I mean, you're talking about lunatics. They probably think fencing somehow endangers the desert environment.
I guess they enjoy coyotes coming up near their house.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, exactly. And who knows what other creatures they have in Arizona? Liberals do stupid things. They do very stupid things.
At least there could have been sensor lights all through the outside.
Any female, I don't care how old or young, should not be in a rideshare vehicle unescorted. I talked about this. I saw a couple years ago, there was a documentary on Netflix with Ted Bundy, and they interviewed the Bundy tapes, and they interviewed one of these forensic serial killer psychologist guys. And he said there was he said in the late 60s, early 70s, there was a rise in serial killers. And he says the reason that was feminism. It was the first time that women started traveling alone without a chaperone. And that's when women started getting raped and murdered in the large numbers they have, because women, I'm an independent woman. I can do whatever a man does. And then they're dead. Right?
True.
Yeah.
A woman never should be without any pepper spray unless she is trained to carry a weapon properly. If you're alone, you should always have something to protect you.
Yeah.
Even
like a man. Like a man in the car with you. Like a man with you. Listen, I got to run, but you added a lot to the conversation. I'm up against the top of the hour break, but thanks so much, okay?
You too, honey. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. The 7 o'clock hour will begin in a moment. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back right after this. Do you guys agree with that? A woman should not take ride shares alone. At least have another woman, but really should have a man.
We're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Hank from Hollywood. How you doing?
All right, Hank. What's on your mind?
I called Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. He sent out Scott. Now, Scott is absolutely the best. Scott and Scott's crew are the absolute best. They gave me a great price. They did the job when they said they were going to do it. They finished the job when they said they were going to do it. The materials they used, absolutely the best. I want to thank Tom. I definitely want to thank Scott, and definitely want to thank Scott's crew. These people are number one, and I just want your listeners to know, Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. If you need a new roof, call Tom at Tom Laporta Roofing. You're not going to go wrong. You're not going to be disappointed.
Do what Hank did. Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportaroofing.com. Hey, Brian Craig here. You hear me talk with attorney Barry Siegel every day about how we can help you and your family. Now here's one of our listeners, Frances, sharing her experience of how attorney Barry Siegel made a difference in her life and took a weight off her shoulders.
I was really looking for something to help me secure my holdings, which is actually not a whole bunch of bank account, savings, and a house and a car for my two daughters. I was worried that if I had just a regular will, things would get tied up in probate, and that would take 2 years. So I heard on the radio about Barry Siegel, the attorney. I gave them a call, and immediately they were so kind. They were so nice. They assured me that they could help. I went over there, and they sat with me, and we went over everything. And I ended up with this wonderful trust for my two daughters. So if something does happen to me, things just turn over to them, and it'll make it so much easier for them. And it took a great load off of my mind as to how I would take care of my two daughters. I was very pleased with the attorney, Barry Siegel. Finding him helped me assure that my two daughters will be well taken care of in the event that I won't be here.
Give attorney Barry Siegel a call right now. Toll free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
All right. This is the press conference the guy had when he was released.
Right. You don't watch the Today Show. So this is a complete shock.
What kind of questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask me any questions.
So
nothing. They just sent me in the car. They investigated my car and this one, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions, no nothing.
Did you get the other car back? Or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So they said you can go home?
Yeah.
And how did they treat, like, the people you were with, your girl, your child? Yeah, not understood. Yep.
How's your family? They scared everybody. I was going to say, they scared everybody, huh?
Yeah, they're all in shock right now.
All right, Steve, you there?
I am here.
I got just under a minute.
The doors.
Okay.
The garage door in the back.
So what are you going to do now?
I'm going to try to clear my name. I didn't do anything. I mean, I hope they get the suspect. Because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name. I'm done. Look at I want to put in my family.
You're on national news now.
Not just Stan. Even my parents in Tucson. Yeah.
And your mother-in-law was worried about you? She was saying it doesn't look anything like you?
Yeah, see? I'm telling you that.
Why do you think they came here? Why did you think they came to you?
If I would have known that answer, I would have given it to you. But I don't.
All right, here we go. 10 seconds. All right, hour number 2 has begun. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us early today. Hey, Steve.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I have been up all night watching this story.
Too.
I could not sleep. I've never seen a story develop like this.
Maybe you can help me because I wasn't even going to come in today. I was up all night too, watching the goings on.
The kidnapping?
And it was like a bad acid trip is the only way I can describe it.
A bad acid? I don't know what a good acid trip is like. Not to, well, maybe you do. I don't know. I don't have a point of reference on that one. But
I was raised up in a different generation.
Well, I do remember that traffic reporter we used to have. So I think he was on some kind of trip from time to time. Remember the guy that always had the AA medallions and all that?
I mean the whole story. Yeah, the whole story though is it was incoherent. It was like a bad hallucination.
Oh no! Yesterday, and I will say I'm a news junkie. I'm a news junkie. All right, with our primary focus on political news, obviously, but I also follow true crime news. We just don't talk about it. I don't talk about true crime stories too much because
I love crime stuff.
No, yeah. But let me hold on, Steve, while I answer our busy lines. But this Nancy Guthrie kidnapping story, there hadn't been really a lot of developments in the story over the last 8 or 9 days until yesterday, right before noontime.
Everything broke loose all at once. It was an explosion, an avalanche.
It was nonstop developing news from about 10 minutes to 12 noon yesterday until about 3 a.m. this morning. And I for those that had not been following it, I can quickly walk you through the day's events. And then when I woke up this morning, it was like, crazy. Okay, so a little bit before noon yesterday, we get word that the police are going to release a photograph of the suspect sometime during the afternoon. It came in shortly after noon, and we got the video, the doorbell camera video, as well as stills from the video. And that in itself was very bizarre.
Like a horror movie. It was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre on steroids.
It was. It looked to me like BTK. He used to wear masks like that, and he came with his murder kit, BTK, the serial killer. Or it was just, it was scary.
Well, you're a film person, so you're familiar with Tobe Hooper and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is one of the all-time classics.
Yeah.
And it was the same style. I mean, the way the movie was cut and the makeup and the monster scenes and everything.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And it was like they woke up. I kind of was dozing in and out for the whole night. I was trying to stay up for the whole thing, but I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Oh no! So the first thing that broke yesterday is the video, which was just horrific. I mean, it looked like Diary of a Serial Killer. You want to make another movie
like
reference?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it was awful. But there was a lot to see there because the guy had a holster on in a very strange fashion, like I've never seen, and a lot of the
Mexican style.
That's what they say, Mexican style. I mean, I thought the Mexicans had the bullets on the X fashion across the chest, but I guess that was speeding.
This guy carried it in his butt crack.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh, Steve. Maybe you are on acid. Maybe you are on acid. But anyway, so there was a lot to talk about there. He had those gloves on. He obviously went to great extremes to cover himself.
It was like the biggest problem that we had early in the show yesterday. I mean, not when I say we, I don't mean you and I, but I mean the
drama.
The cops were having the drama yesterday. The biggest problem we had was that we were afraid the Mexicans we was going to make it to Mexico and we wouldn't be able to get them back.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was like money in the bank.
So we had the video from the doorbell camera, which just horrified everybody. I mean, how could you not be horrified by that? And then late in the afternoon, Fox News, they had video and coverage of the SWAT team from the sheriff's office speeding out of the police station. Multiple SWAT team vehicles, and they were going pretty fast. And then the report developed that it wasn't just the SWAT team, but helicopters and a bomb squad. And all the experts were saying, well, they would not haul out of there like that unless they had a target. So I waited, there was nothing. And then I'm flipping between all the news stations because I'm trying to get as much info as I can. And Harvey Levin from TMZ was on CNN, and he received the ransom note, if you remember, last week. So he has access to monitor the Bitcoin cryptocurrency bank account, and he drops on CNN, there's been activity on the account. But I can't say what it is. And so that means there was a deposit. So my first thought, and I think this was everybody's thought, is, Savannah Guthrie paid the ransom. So I'm sitting on that for a while, and then it comes out, and then I watched Laura Ingraham. You know, she had Officer Tatum on, and she was talking about the Harvey Levin thing. And then towards the end of Laura Ingraham, it came out that it was a $300 deposit into the account.
They were just getting the bugs out. They were just seeing that it was operative.
So my thought was, yeah, exactly. They want to make sure the deposit will go through. You know, sometimes you'll send money to somebody on Zelle, and you'll send, you know, if you got to send $500, you'll send $50 or $10 or even $1 to make sure it goes through. And then they say, okay, then you send the rest. So I thought that was going on, and nothing happened. And I go to sleep, and I knew things were happening because Arizona's 2 hours behind us. So, you know, it might be bedtime here, but it's, you know. So I set my alarm for 1:30 this morning. I wake up at 1:30. First thing I do, I reach for my phone so I can check out the news. And the story is the FBI and the local sheriff have a suspect in custody in cuffs that they're detaining and questioning right now. And I'm like, oh boy. So I jump out of bed.
So they were starting to deal with the issue of extradition. They were getting ahead of themselves.
Yeah, like they were assuming it was a Mexican trying to make it back to Mexico. And
exactly.
I jump out of bed and take a quick shower, get dressed. By the time I get out of the shower, the mother-in-law had a press conference, an interview with News Nation. He didn't do it. And then the suspect not only has been released, he had a press conference at the front door of his house saying, I didn't do it. And I'm like, well, what happened here? So it was a day of just nonstop
news. It was
news.
Incoherent. It was. We kind of oversimplified it and made it understandable. But if you were listening live, they were like, it was like insane.
Well, because you're getting information unfiltered in real time. And there was so much happening, and nobody knew what was happening. You're getting like raw information. Right? And you know, it's hard to put in context. But what I thought, the mother-in-law that did the interview, she did a second interview with CNN. She said that someone called the tip line and said that they had the woman in the house. And that's why they got raided. But this guy, when he did his press conference, I thought the mother-in-law and the suspect seemed too cool and calm about everything that happened. And he's a delivery driver, DoorDash, and he delivers packages. So my guess, I was thinking, well, they must have some information that he was in the area or on the street around the time of the doorbell camera from his cell phone. I learned something yesterday that the cell phone towers still ping your phone even when it's off. I thought if your cell phone was off, they couldn't trace it. But one of the lady FBI person on Fox said, even with your phone off, you're still logged into the local towers. I don't know if we're supposed to even know that, but she put it out on Fox. I didn't know that. But, I just thought the timing, right? They put that money in the Bitcoin account, I think, to see if the abductors would access the account so they could track the computer. And Kash Patel said that the FBI has tracking technology that local police officers don't have that they can do a lot of things that the local cops can have. So I thought that's what they were doing. But they detained this guy not long after that money was deposited. So I think people are rushing too quickly to clear this guy.
And then to cut to the chase, the bottom line tomorrow, which was this morning, I got up and turned on to see what was going to be the latest development, and they declared that they suspended the game because they didn't seem to want to go into it today.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we got a break. We're up against the break, but this is a good time to talk about this Sloman's Home Security offer. You know, Sloman's Home Security is offering a free home security system with free professional installation, as well as 24/7 central station monitoring. You get all that for just $24.95 a month. And you're locked in on that price for 5 years, half a decade. That's right, just $24.95 a month. It's a free home security system and professional installation, absolutely free. Your Sloman's Home Security System includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door or window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access, so you can check in from anywhere, anytime. Like if you're Savannah Guthrie and you would have called Sloman's and taken advantage of this, you could have checked in on Mom from the Today Show studios in New York. Give them a call right now. This is a great offer because it's free, right? 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. I'll be right back. Oh, man. If you're on hold, guys, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. You are most definitely welcome to call in. And then here's CNN. Listen to this.
Our team on the ground heard from a woman who claims her home is the one being searched there.
This is the
No,
mother-in-law.
they came out telling us that they had somebody gave a tip that the lady was in my house. I don't know her name. ¿Cómo se llama?
Nancy Guthrie?
That we don't know. We don't know her at all. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about her. They only said that they gave a tip that she was in my house. And I told them, you can go in and search my house. There's nobody there. I have nothing to hide. There's nobody in my house. And I don't know what's going on. I mean,
Do you have any family members that might know?
no, they're investigating my son-in-law. He's not have nothing to do with that either. I don't know else.
What's his name?
It's Carlos Palazuelo. They have nothing to do with it either. I don't know what else to say. They're just invading my property. I told them they're going in and out of my house, taking a lot of pictures and everything. I mean, like I told them, we're not hiding anything. I give them permission. You can go and search. There's nothing in my house. You won't find anything because we don't have nothing to hide.
Is this your son-in-law's vehicle?
The one that was on the side of the, that's my daughter's vehicle.
So what is your son's name?
My daughter.
Your daughter.
Yeah, that's
So do you live in? It's her husband. So it's your son-in-law.
Yeah,
who
my
they
son.
took away.
Yeah.
And Carlos and his last name?
Palazuelos. Yeah. He has nothing to do with that
Did he
either.
ever say anything about Nancy Guthrie?
Nothing. We never. Like I told the FBI, the investigator, if I knew anything about her, I said I saw her on Facebook, but I didn't read what was going on with her because I don't know her and I don't have the right to. I mean, if I don't know anybody, I won't read the story. I just go over, keep on going on the phone, because I don't know her.
So how did this all happen?
I don't know.
Were you home when this thing
No,
showed up?
I was coming from Tucson when they had my son outside the house. They broke in my house without a warrant or nothing. They broke my door. They went inside my house. My son was playing on Nintendo. He had his headphones on. They got him and put him in a cuff and took him outside. And then they asked him what's going on. There isn't anything. Do you have a search warrant? They said they didn't have any search warrant by then. And they still ask him, do you still have a search warrant? And they don't give me an answer.
Does your son-in-law ever go to Tucson?
He works in Tucson.
What does he do?
He's a delivery guy. He does FedEx or something like that.
Okay.
That's what he works on.
And so you're not allowed to go home right now?
No, they wanted us in. They kept on going in and out of my house, taking pictures. And I don't know why. I mean,
Your son was the one that was detained.
yeah, he was detained for. They showed me a video to see if it was him. To see if he. Yeah, he's my son-in-law. Okay. If I recognize the thing he was wearing, he doesn't have any of that.
Okay. All right. Hold on, Steve. Let's see here. Okay. All right, Steve, you back?
I can hear you.
All right, 20 seconds. We'll be back in 20 seconds. All right, hold on. Put you on hold 1 second. All right, Steve, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. My name is Brian Craig, and we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping story and all these crazy. I've never seen, Steve, in a missing persons case like this, so much happen in a day like this. Have you?
It was like a bad dream. It was like unbelievable.
Oh.
It was bizarre.
Well, you know what? When I saw that, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phones in a moment, and it's open phones so far as the Guthrie case. Okay, anything.
Yeah, I'd like to hear people's reactions to who watched the overnight. I want to know if I'm going crazy or not.
No, it's crazy developments. But you know, this is what I'm wondering. And before we go to calls, I just want to say this: that video came out, and then it was almost 12 hours before they stopped this guy. Okay, who's obviously Hispanic. We don't know what his immigration status is or anything, but the footage of the creep at the front door, even though he had the mask on and the gloves, he was wearing pants that were pretty tight. And if you know who that is, you would certainly recognize them.
You'd recognize him. Let's take some calls.
I will. Let me finish my thought, then we'll go to the calls. But the primary suspect has been the son-in-law. And I'm assuming he's off the table because with pretty much, right? Maybe because the comparison between the figure in the doorbell video and the son-in-law, if that was him, they would know it, unless he's got an accomplice. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. You're on the air. Once, twice. All right.
This message has been transcribed.
All right. Oh, boy. I tell you. Oh, boy. All right. Strange people. All right, Steve, let's take another call.
I heard the next one. I hope it's not who I think it is. Go ahead.
I have no idea who it is. I don't know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Paul. I'm calling from Knoxville, Tennessee. How are you?
Good. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing good. I just happened to find you on, YouTube or something.
Well, welcome.
Decided to call in.
Welcome.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
This Nancy Guthrie story. This is a really weird. There's a lot of weird things about this. I mean, I don't know. I'm not putting blame on anybody, but Savannah she behaves a little strangely, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's just something a little off, right? And I'm not saying, that she's bad or anything, but all the stuff that kind of piles on makes this case really weird.
Well, I would say
weird. I mean, there's no question it's weird. But you say you can't. You're not saying anybody's bad. What about the kidnappers?
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, the kidnappers, obviously.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the whole thing all taken together is just strange.
Well, I would say I would say that this is very close to neglect of the mother. I mean, they put the mother at this age and her condition alone in an Uber at night to take her home. I mean, that's the sister and son-in-law live just right down the street. I mean, that's criminal in itself, tell you the truth, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do we know much about how capable the mother is handling things on her own?
Every picture I see of her, she's all bruised up.
But the real question is she capable of breathing?
I doubt it right now. The chances of her being alive are slim to none at this point.
I know.
Sadly.
I heard something else that, again, not to start crazy rumors and stuff because I don't like to do that. But there is talk on the internet that it's very possible because of the proximity to the Mexican border that this is a kidnapping from somebody in Mexico.
Obviously, yeah. And the police,
Kidnapping is,
they're 50 miles from the Mexican border. The guy in the doorbell camera, that holster, many law enforcement have reported that's a common way to holster your handgun in Mexico. Kidnapping.
For women.
Kidnapping.
For women.
Yeah, for women, really. I didn't hear that part. Oh, really? Yeah, I guess we don't want guns right over our, private parts like that. It's kind of
Well, I heard somebody say that by looking at the eyes and the eyebrows, they thought that it could possibly look like a woman kidnapper.
I've heard a lot of people right out the gate were saying it looked like a woman trying to make themselves look like a man. Right out the gate.
Yeah.
I heard people saying that. And I'm talking about experts that were saying that. Right out the gate. And they and I thought, "Oh, that's interesting. That might explain the oversized gloves."
Yeah, and the other thing that's going to cause, if this happens, it's going to cause everybody's head to explode. If they catch them and they're like an illegal alien who's doing this, I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the freakiest.
They may not even, if that's true, they may not even press charges.
No question.
They may not even press charges if that turns out to be. The thing about this, okay.
They may run him for the Senate.
This guy, yeah, really. This guy that they detained was close to the border when they detained him. So they had some information that led them to this guy, and he was close to the border, and they were trying to stop him from crossing the border. At least they thought he was crossing the border.
Which direction was he trying to go, in or out?
I haven't heard that reported, but if he was close to the border and they stopped him, it's hard to say. I don't know. I haven't heard any detailed reports on that other than he was close to the border.
Oh boy. Well, actually, he would have a much easier time going from the U.S.
Well, listen, we got to run for a break, but welcome to the program.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, take care. When we have new listeners that call in, I love it when they love the show, and that's great. So all of you that are new to the program, welcome everyone. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Originally I made my way over to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. This was last year, right? Because we had our cruise coming up last year, and I gained weight. I didn't realize how much weight I gained, because when you see yourself every day, it's such a slow progression, you don't notice it. But boy, oh boy, everybody else does. And I wanted to lose 25 pounds before the cruise last year. And I remember I met Dr. Zuckerman, and he said, well, when are you leaving? And I said, in a month. And he said, well, how much do you want to lose? I said, 25 pounds. He said, no problem. I said, Doc, come on. 25 pounds, I'm leaving in a month. He's like, no problem. And sure enough, I lost 25 pounds in the first 3 weeks. Right? I mean, it was amazing. And now we got our next cruise coming up, and I lost more weight since the last cruise. I've kept it all off. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. Remember, they can help you no matter where you are located in the world. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. All right, Steve, I'm going to put you on hold, okay? Stand by.
Okay.
Stand by. Yeah, let me play the end, maybe rewind this, play the end of the mother-in-law.
Pictures, and I don't know why. I mean,
your son was the one that was detained.
Yeah, he was detained for. They showed me a video to see if it was him. To see if he. Yeah, he's my son-in-law. Okay. If I recognize the thing he was wearing, he doesn't have any of that. He doesn't have anything that comes on the video.
Was it surveillance footage?
From the house, I think. Yeah, they showed me the picture.
Okay, so the mother-in-law, she's out there clearing her son-in-law every which way but loose. And then we have, this is some information about, this is CNN giving us some information on the border.
Back with our breaking news, a person has been detained for questioning in the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. A source is now telling us that this person was detained in Rio Rico. You see there on the map, it is near the border with Mexico. It's about an hour south of Tucson. Let's go back to Jake and Ed Lavandera. Ed, you're familiar with
border.
this area. What can you tell us?
Well, it's just north of Nogales, which is, obviously one of the border areas crossing into Mexico. We've been, over the years, done a lot of reporting through the area. Very remote. You start getting down into this part of Arizona. It starts becoming very remote. It's also a place where Nogales, it's literally right on the border. The border wall goes right through town, so you can literally take one step if that wall wasn't there and cross into Mexico. So at that point, it's Interstate 19, which takes you south from Tucson all the way into Nogales, which is about 60 miles. Obviously, the border infrastructure and all of the law enforcement presence that is down in this part of the world has changed dramatically in the last few years. So it's a very difficult place where you're not going to drive very far without running into some sort of law enforcement vehicle down there.
Right. So Rio Rico is 51 miles south of Tucson, and again, my map here. If this is Arizona, for those of people who are not familiar with Arizona, it's a kind of a rectangle, and Phoenix is about here, and you're showing it on there. Great. And Tucson is the biggest southern city, and it's 60 miles from the Mexican border and 51 miles from Tucson, 9 miles from the border is Rio Rico. And this area, tell us, Ed, because you've covered this mainly for immigration stories, but you've covered this area for years and years and years. Small towns, but fairly desolate, right?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, when we started hearing news of this.
Okay, wow. So that was some information. Okay, hold on. Stand by, guys. We're still in radio break for less than a minute. All right. Steve, you back?
I am.
Okay, we got about 40 seconds. We'll be back. I got a little more information during the break that I'll share.
Sounds good. We ready to go report then, huh?
No, not for over an hour.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, 20 seconds. All right, we're back. Steve Kane's here. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay, I got some new information on the guy that they detained and let go. And before I do, I got this from Jake Tapper on CNN. Jake Tapper is a real jerk, not just because his producer tried to get me arrested with Laura Loomer. Okay, and that's true. Jerk, a monster. This reporter from CNN has been down there in front of that house doing great reporting for over a week. They're close to making an arrest, and Jake Tapper's coming down there to hog all the glory from this guy's hard work. What a pathetic person. Can he do that in New York or Washington or wherever he camps out? He's out there pretending he's doing cosplay like he's a journalist now. He's not in a suit and tie. He's in a denim shirt, and he's outside, so he's Jake Tapper, investigative jerk. But anyway, the Tucson is about 60 miles from, according to this report, 60 miles from the Mexican border. The guy that they stopped and detained, and they had information, right? They went to the house first. They were given information that led them to the house. He was stopped in a place called Rio Rico. Rio Rico, 9 miles. It's 9 miles from Mexico. So he was 9 miles from the Mexican border when they stopped this guy. And if you remember, they got Scott Peterson, who, remember, he murdered his wife, Lacey, and their unborn child. They got him trying to cross the border into Mexico, too. But 9 miles from the Mexican border, they got this guy. So, he said when they interviewed him, when he held this impromptu press conference in front of his house, A lot of it was weird. Did you see the press conference with the guy?
No.
Okay, he gave this press conference in the front of his house, and there were a few things that were very weird about it. He was handcuffed and questioned. Okay, it's been reported. There's conflicting reports, but this is a developing story. So what we're talking about is what we know as of this moment. Things could change in 5 minutes, right? Because it's developing. But it's been reported that it was both federal and local law enforcement. And because of the proximity to the southern border, there's a lot of federal agents on any day of the week, day or night, along that area because it's so close to the border. So it's been reported that there were federal agents there with the regular police, and I'm unclear if it was the sheriff's department that's handling the investigation with that clown that they have. But they released him, and then he had this press conference in front of his little shantytown house, and he said weird things, right? They asked him what did they question you, and he says, well, he said they took me from the Miranda car into the other car. I've never heard a car referred to as a Miranda car, and I'm assuming that's where they read him his rights. And they did that in one particular car. But I've never heard that term being used, the Miranda car. Have you ever heard that term being used?
I wouldn't put that much stock in it.
You know what I put in it?
They're referring to, there were two cars, and they just found a word to try to differentiate between
No.
two of them.
That was the suspect referred to the first car as the Miranda car. To me, that sounds like a guy that's not his first rodeo with law enforcement. To use a term like that, I've never heard that term in my life. It wasn't the media, it was the suspect. So, and he was too cool to coast. I've never been Mirandized. Have you, Steve?
No.
No. So, when you're a normal law-abiding...
You better try harder.
Yeah. When you're a normal law-abiding person, guy like me or Steve, and all this stuff, you get your rights read, you get Mirandized by law enforcement, you're freaking out. Because if you're getting Mirandized, my life's over. This guy didn't have a worry in the world when he got back to his house. In fact, immediately after, there was one reporter on the scene and he was not. This is a guy. I don't buy that this guy is a man who's gone through life without run-ins with the law. He was just too calm for the whole thing and the terminology. Then he's doing this press conference in his shantytown house in front of the porch, and he said they asked him for his name and his social security number and all of this, his social. Nobody
send him a talent fee.
Yeah, and no one asked him. Nobody has even referenced whether or not his immigration status is legal or not. I haven't even heard anyone in the media get into. They're so political. It's like. They had this shooting, a transgendered man in a dress did a mass shooting in Canada yesterday.
Really?
And the local police in Canada they called them a gun person, not a gunman or gunwoman. They called them a gun person. Liberals are politically correct even when they're talking about, talking to killers and such. The biggest crime is to misgender someone. And I haven't seen anyone in the media talk about it. The mother-in-law has done at least 2 interviews. She did a News Nation interview and she did a CNN interview. Now, the guy from News Nation did very good reporting. He asked her a lot of great questions. No one asked about their immigration status. Not that they would tell the truth that they were illegal, but that doesn't mean you don't ask. When he was doing this press conference, and there's a lot of footage of it because all the press were there. It was like the president. It was like he had a whole press corps in front of this shack, and he's doing this press conference. And so there's camera angles from every direction, just like the Preddy shooting, right? No one took the camera down to look at his shoes. I wanted to see his shoes to see if they were the same kind of shoes that the guy had on in the doorbell camera, and no one put their camera down to look at the shoes. And I was like, come on. But when he's doing this interview, and his wife and kids or some people speaking Spanish are in the house. Someone opens the door, says something in Spanish that I'm not Bad Bunny. I don't understand the Spanish. And then he did that move over his throat, like cut. He's like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And he did that move like cut and went right back in. This guy was just too calm, as was the mother-in-law. They're on national TV. He's got about 50 reporters in front of the house. He's holding a press conference. He just got detained by law enforcement and federal agents along the border in a high-profile national kidnapping story, and he's not even freaked out. Everything about that guy to me, and use that weird term, I was in the Miranda car, and then Miranda car, it just, everything about that guy, something stinks about that. I'm not saying he's necessarily guilty in the Guthrie case, but this guy's got a criminal past to be that calm, cool, and collected with everything that happened.
I think I don't know why you hesitate not to associate him with this case. He's obviously part of it.
Well,
you're being
no, the mother. Well, we don't know. The mother-in-law, and I don't take anything. The mother-in-law was out there too quick, defending him with interviews without breaking a sweat. She was very comfortable on camera, defending the son-in-law so quick. And even
the whole family probably was accessories after the fact.
Well, the mother-in-law, see, this is the thing about the mother, right? The mother, there's two things. First, if you watch the interview with the mother, with the News Nation interview, and that News Nation, Steve, when there's true crime stories going on that are live like this, they have like the best TV coverage. They've got like professional crime report. They're very good, and I've been watching primarily there for the breaking news on this story, News Nation. The mother-in-law, she did two things in that News Nation interview. One, she gave him an alibi immediately. Oh no, he couldn't have been there. He was with me. She gave him an alibi. But then she tells the reporter she never heard of this Nancy Guthrie kidnapping thing. She didn't know anything about it. She never heard of her. She saw something on Facebook, but she didn't read it. She didn't know. So if she didn't know about it, how could she give him an alibi and say, well, he couldn't have been there? Because, there's conflict in what the mother-in-law said.
It sounds like a family job.
Yeah. And what, the mother being so liberal. Remember, Nancy Guthrie was a big Trump hater. She had posted anti-Trump things on social media, right? Some liberal do-gooder like that probably surrounds themselves with illegals to do things for them. Or would you be surprised? That's part of they think they're in the Peace Corps, and and she probably has illegals, doing work for it over at the house and everything, because that's what liberals do, and it's dangerous. All right, listen, let's take some calls. Your thoughts on this certainly are welcome at 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you are. But to me, if I had to guess, whoever took her, she died, and they didn't expect that. That creepy doorbell camera footage. That guy, I know they keep saying he was unprepared because he put the tumbleweeds over the camera to try to block their face. But that backpack was overstuffed. He had an entire kit with him, So I don't, I'm not saying this is a professional kidnapper. I don't even know if there's such a thing in America. There probably are in Mexico. But he had a lot of things in that backpack. So he or she, because the gender is unknown, had a lot of equipment with them for that kidnapping, and they took this elderly lady in her 80s that's got a lot of health issues without her, and she probably had a heart attack or something and died, and just didn't survive the initial kidnapping, right? Would that be your guess, Steve?
I would have said from the beginning her prospects are dubious.
Yeah.
I don't see. I mean, of course, it's a health thing, man.
Yep. All right, I'm going to put you and everyone on hold, Steve. All right, and then we'll come back. We'll take some calls from the audience. But first, I want to talk about Dr. Appleton. Listen, when I was young and my grandparents were had all these aches and pains. I figure, well, when I got to that age, that was just life. Arthritis, aches and pains. And I had aches and pains, and I was in a lot of pain sometimes, until I met Dr. Appleton and took advantage of his robotic laser wave pain treatment. You know, aches and pains, suffering, being in pain is not a part of growing older. You can live a pain-free life like I've done. I've been rid of pain 7 times, sometimes from aging, like the arthritis in my hand, okay? But sometimes injuries. I had a skateboard accident and hurt my shoulder. You guys, And the laser wave pain treatment not only rid me of pain, none of the pains have returned, and Dr. Appleton's laser wave pain treatment, there's no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, no shots, no injections, and it works. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. By the way, appointments aren't necessary. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're in radio station break now, but I want to play. This is the thing I was talking about with the Canadian. They had this shooter, the transgendered shooter in Canada. Here's the local police chief.
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay. The gun person. The gun person. Are you kidding me?
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay. Is that nuts? That's how politically correct they are in Canada. Gun person. I've never heard such a thing in my life. Gun person. Okay, where's that other clip? Okay, this is the press conference with the guy they detained.
Right. You don't watch the Today Show? No. So this is a complete shock.
What kind of questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask me any more questions.
So they just said,
nothing. They just sent me in the car. They investigated my car and this one, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions, no nothing.
Did you get the other car back? Or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So
yeah, it's like.
And they said you can go.
Yeah.
And how did they treat like the people you were with, your girl, your child? Yeah, not understood. Yep.
How's your family? They scared everybody. I was gonna say they scared everybody, huh?
Yeah, they're shocked.
Wow.
Did they damage the house? Yeah.
What did they do to the house?
Broke the doors. What else? The garage door in the back.
Now they went in hardcore.
What are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna try to clear my name. I ain't doing anything.
Try to clear my name. Hasn't it already been cleared?
What is it? I hope they get the suspect, because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name. I'm done.
Oh, boy. All right. We have about 30 seconds. Okay. All right. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I am.
We've got 40 seconds. We'll be back, and we'll go to the phones.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right. If you're on hold, stand by, guys. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay. The show is flying by. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
We got a whodunit. Colonel Mustard did it with the candlestick.
Always so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, people love a mystery, right? That's, All right, here we go. Stand by. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane's here. I'm Brian Craig. You want to go to the phone, Steve?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Maria. I'm calling from West Virginia.
Hey, Maria.
I have a hypothesis on what this is all about, and of course, allegedly, it's just my own mind.
Yeah.
But I believe that her missing. I don't think she's alive, and I don't think she was intended to be alive from the beginning. And in the same way that Trump was shot in Butler, and we all believe, at least I think, people that think like yourself.
The Never Trumpers shot the president in Butler. He was shot by the Never Trumpers in Butler.
That's right. And so the Never Trumpers are a lot of the liberals, the diabolical ones that would be willing to murder and do all kinds of nefarious things in order to put somebody out. at the same time, there have been liberals that have been killed by liberals, if you look through history, and in the last 40 years, to shut them up, or there's an upcoming deposition or something like that, and they're afraid this person's going to talk, and this person who was a friend of the liberals ends up getting killed or a suicide.
They're like the mob. They're the mob. The Democrats are an organized criminal organization.
All right, well, we're here so far. What's next?
I believe that she was taken and killed as a way of throwing an arrow across the bow at Michael Feldman. And Michael Feldman is the husband of Savannah Guthrie. And if you look into
Michael Feldman, Savannah Guthrie's husband worked for President Clinton, and he's a big-time Democrat operative and advisor.
That's right. That's right. And that's the take on this. There have been people that have worked for the Clintons before.
A lot of
that
people
have come up.
Yeah.
And so
they were the last, the Clintons, not the Clintons, but the brother-in-law you're talking about. He was the last one to see them alive.
You know, Monica Lewinsky just did another interview. Monica Lewinsky does interviews quite a bit, and it's probably to protect herself from the Clintons. I would not be surprised.
Exactly.
Yeah. So sum it up in plain language. You're saying that Nancy Guthrie this happened to do what specifically?
And I think the liberals, they like all of these illegals in the country to do their bidding, to do their dirty work, like kill people and kidnap people and kill them. That's why I think they want them in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to weaponize these illegals against the right or anybody else that they feel needs to be dealt with.
All right. Some interesting points. All right. Well, appreciate the call. Yeah. Okay. All right. Our phones are ringing. The phones are ringing off the hook, Steve. I don't know if I subscribe to that theory because I don't know what Savannah Guthrie's husband's done that's controversial in a while. I don't know. All right, you want to take some more calls, Steve, or what do you want to do?
Yeah,
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, good morning. My name's Teresa, and I'm calling from Venice, Louisiana.
Hey, Teresa.
Hi. Yeah, I just had a quick observation. I just kept rewinding that video as the person was walking up to the porch by the doorbell, camera.
Yes.
Yes.
As a female, I just kept. There's a certain point when they walk up to that doorbell, when they freeze it, those are female shapely hips, and that's just what I observed being a female, and that's just what I observed.
Well, I would like somebody to compare the legs to the sister's legs. The sister, in those videos, I haven't seen any video of the sister standing up, but in the video that Savannah Guthrie did with her siblings, the sister was wearing jeans, and the person at the front door was wearing jeans.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's just what I observed. Those are female shapely hips.
You know, I was talking with Steve about this at the beginning of the hour. When that footage first dropped, immediate reactions from analysts are the good ones, right? Because they're not going around and around for 3 days. The immediate reaction for so many people was, that's a woman disguised as a man. I heard that immediately from people all over social media too, and that would explain the gloves. And you said, Steve, that you said the holster is. I heard that it was by analysts that it was a Mexican style of holster, but you said it's a Mexican style for women in Mexico to holster their weapons.
Yes, it's especially used by women.
Men do not want to have a loaded weapon pointed at their privates like that.
No, I don't think so either.
No way.
If they're very, whoever it is, they're very unprofessional, and to me, those are shapely female hips.
I'm going to look back at that, but you say that everybody says not professional. Kidnapping is a profession in Mexico, right? And this person had a backpack that was loaded up with all kinds of things, so they came prepared.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't.
I just was like a bush. Why they had that bush, that piece of greenery?
Because they saw the camera and they're like, oh, you know, I don't have anything to cover the camera. So they thought they were blocking their face, but they weren't. All right. Well, listen. Welcome to the program. You added a lot to the conversation. All right. Take care. We got some smart people in the audience. They come, but you know this. This will be if the person is identified as a woman at the front door when this is all over. That'll be an amazing thing, because that immediate reaction from so many people that it was a woman, people be like, oh wow, that's something else. I would say they're very hot on the trail, though. I mean, there's so much going on. I was when I saw that they had somebody detained when I woke up early this morning. It didn't surprise me, because I figured I'd wake up and they'd have a suspect. All right, we got time. I just looked at the clock. We got time for more calls, so let's do that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, Brian. It's Sandra from Boca. How are you?
Hey, Sandra.
So I didn't have a chance to hear your theory because I came in late, but this is my theory. I don't know if you agree with it or not. I think they killed her in the house, because and that whole thing about the ransom, that is a ruse to throw investigators off the scent, at least temporarily. Because this is just my personal opinion. If you are really going to take somebody for ransom, you're going to protect your asset. So there's going to be no blood. So
well, they said that now again. This sheriff is such a clown, and you know a lot of times they'll give misinformation, but it's been reported that there was no sign of a struggle inside the home.
Yeah, because they got her in her sleep and they bludgeoned her.
Okay, and took her out in her sheets.
Bludgeoning in her sleep would leave more of a residue than those couple of drops.
Yeah, I mean you got to bust somebody's skull open for that.
Well, that's
a lot of blood in the head.
That's true too.
Well, you know, this person that they detained, that they let go, that had the press conference, I'm not ready to let that guy off the hook yet. I just not. But the mother-in-law in the News Nation interview, she said that he and his wife and kids had just been evicted from their home for not paying rent, and they were staying with her, waiting for their income tax return to get their own apartment. So that means there you got someone who's broke. And he's a delivery driver. You know, everything we do, my wife can't get is you know homebound. You guys know, and so we do everything with Amazon and DoorDash and deliveries. We don't let anyone see the inside of the house. No matter what delivery we get, we have them leave it on the front porch. We don't open the door. I don't even go out and get it until they drive off if I'm home. You know what I mean? But you know, but an elderly lady like this may allow delivery drivers to bring the stuff into her home, and then they start seeing the silverware and such that they think they could turn into cash.
I'm going to go out on a limb here too. That guy on camera, he's not the killer.
Oh, the guy they detained?
No, the guy on camera, the guy that they have
at the front door.
With the
at the front door.
Yeah,
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy.
What do you say? Why do you say that?
Because I feel that person may have tampered with what they needed to tamper with, and of course they needed to be disguised. But for some reason, I don't think he's the killer.
Well, I think
that was
who do you think did
as well.
Who do you think did it? The sister and son-in-law?
I haven't gotten that far yet in my mindset.
If he's not the killer, and he went up there to take out the cameras, that means whoever was waiting out on the road in the car was afraid they would be recognized in the camera. So they don't want to be seen even disguised, like their stance and body might be recognized. So that tells me it would be somebody familiar with Nancy Guthrie.
So you got the number up to 4. Is that
the guy was disguised, and they're fooling with the cameras. But for some reason, I don't think that guy is the killer.
All right. Well, listen, I
think
tell you, we got a mystery here, and you guys that have called in today, really putting some pieces together. It's nice to get all these observations. You guys are doing much better than a lot of these retired homicide detectives that I'm seeing on some of the shows.
Old Steve came with us.
Yeah, that's right. All right, listen, we're up against the top of the hour, but thank you for your call.
Thank you, Steve. Have a good day.
All right, you take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, Steve, I'm going to put you and everyone on hold, okay? And we'll be back with your calls after the top of the hour break. But I want to remind you that right now the mega sale is going on at mypillow.com, and great discounts with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com. But it's free shipping on every order during the mega sale. Free shipping. Free shipping does not come around very often. It's like a once in a year thing, maybe, from Mike Lindell at MyPillow, and it will end without notice. So right now it's free shipping on every order during the mega sale with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. That's no matter how small or large the order is, it is free shipping on every order. Make sure you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879, 800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, we're going to take our break for the top. We'll come back with Steve Kane and your calls. I'm Brian Craig. Our number is toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break. Don't go anywhere. Now this here, I thought this was really interesting, guys. This was done by some online sleuths. They did, this obviously is the doorbell camera, still image, and they estimated the height of the person in the image. They said the average brick is 2.5 inches in this type of construction. So using that as a measure, okay, and the estimated size of the doorway by counting the bricks, they're saying the suspect is between 5'9" and 5'11". And I thought that was some interesting stuff there. But now the last caller said that this looks like a woman. What do you guys think? Does this look like a woman to you, trying to look like a man? What do you guys think? If you're on hold, hang in there. When we get back from the break, we will go to the phones. And we're in radio station break right now for just over 2 minutes. Does that look like a woman to you guys? And those of you who think that that's a woman, could you call in? The number's toll free. It's pinned on the live chat. And talk with us about what draws you to that conclusion. Why do you think that's a woman? And I'll tell you, that would explain the pistol being there. Because if that's a woman, you can tell if it's a woman in the man's pants. You know what I mean? If it's a man, it fits tighter. If it's a woman in man's pants, it's really baggy in that area. You know what I mean? And the holster there kind of obscures that. But why do you say it's possibly a woman? I thought at first that they had lights on because it was so dark, but I guess that's just the reflective material on the backpack. Yep, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. You see what I mean? That the gun there would definitely hide that. Women, when they wear men's jeans, you can tell. You can tell. All right, we're a minute away. All right, Steve, you there? Steve, are you there?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Are you there, Steve?
I'm here.
Okay. We got 45 seconds.
Okay.
45 seconds. All right. You want to go back to the phones?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 30 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian. You know, Steve, a lot of people, have been saying that they think this is a woman disguised as a man. And that would explain the holster being over that part of the body, because if a woman is wearing man's jeans, you can tell because there's nothing there to fill in the, the space. And the gun being holstered over that area covers up that area. You know what I mean? I don't think a man would. I don't know any guy that would walk around with a loaded pistol right there. I just don't know anyway. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Monica Tapia. I'm calling from Arizona.
Oh, hey Arizona. Can you turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to us on in the background, please?
Oh yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a great show you're listening to. I love that show.
Yeah, very good show.
Yes.
All right. Your question regarding if it's a female at the door?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, this is an ex-military person from the get-go.
You or the person at the door? You or the person at the door?
The person at the door is an ex-military person because of the fact that they went for that rubble to cover the camera. That is a technique that the military uses. They are using also war paint underneath that mask. Now, the gear, the clothing that they have is extremely expensive clothing. This is not just ordinary. We run it through AI. We're looking at the top at about $200, cargo pants at about $150. So this is not a person that's needy of money.
Wow. So what do you make of all that? You know, Savannah Guthrie's brother is ex-military.
Right.
Tommaso.
No, not the brother-in-law. Her actual brother is ex-military. Not the
ex-pilot, which was extremely also interesting that that private flight that left Arizona.
Yes.
Immediately, like within 2 hours. Still, they haven't looked much into that. It seems like all the important things that people would want to look, good detectives would look at, they're not talking about it or they're not looking into it.
So,
well, what is it that they're not looking into?
The important events, like for instance, that flight that left Tucson at 4 a.m.
I saw that.
A private airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were to we track an area in that vicinity where you could actually avoid every single camera, traffic camera, or intersection camera that could catch an activity up to the point where you get close to the airport.
Where does the plane leaving Arizona fit in? I'm trying to put my puzzle together here.
2 hours after the supposedly.
Well, what's your theory? Draw me a picture. I'm not awake yet.
The theory is that definitely they left the area. Number one, the
who's the they? That's what I want.
Who did it?
Right. Okay. So the abductors have the note said.
But who are they?
Time to. I don't know who they are, but what they said is give us enough time to bring her back.
So what we're asking is, do you have you're at ground zero, right? You're in Arizona. Do you have a theory? Who is your lead suspect? Who do you think did it?
I think it's connected to Mark Kelly.
Mark Kelly, the senator.
Yes.
Why would Mark Kelly kidnap Savannah Guthrie's mother?
Why would Mark Kelly say he knew about the abduction before anybody?
Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie talked to the police, and then she called.
He said
well, I'm going to tell you.
He knew before the police did.
No, he did not say that.
He knew before the police did.
No. I don't listen. Mark Kelly's a snake. I don't like that guy, and I hope they demote him to seaman. Okay, when Pete Hegseth's done, he's a traitor. I know that grand jury in D.C. wouldn't indict the Sedation Six yesterday, but he violated the military code of conduct, and I hope he faces proper discipline for it. But So I'm not a fan of that guy, and he's used the terrible incident with his wife to make a whole career out of himself. He's a sleaze bucket. However,
'Cause he's not even
I
from
saw him. Well, either was John McCain, right?
You know, he was living in Texas
Yeah.
and then comes to Arizona just to run for office.
Yeah, but you know the thing with Mark Kelly, I saw the original interview that you're talking about. He did not say exactly what you said. He said Savannah Guthrie called me before, not the police, called me before it was in the news. So my guess
Before
is
the public knew.
before we knew, but the sheriff knew. I think Savannah Guthrie called the sheriff, saw what a clown he was. She probably knows the idiot, knows what a clown he is,
Right.
and then called Mark Kelly for some reason. She should have called the president. She could have gotten the president on the phone and got the FBI there day one. But you know how these liberals are.
If it wasn't for TDS.
Yeah. So why would TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome?
Who needed the distraction the most right now?
Yeah, you know, if
court martial.
So you think Senator Kelly is behind the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie because of the court martial that he may be facing? Okay.
I don't think
that's a theory.
Kidnapping.
It's a theory.
The sister is behind it. The sister is covering for her brother.
Yes, the kidnapping is an afterthought. Okay? Here's my theory on what happened. They startled her. They startled Nancy. She had a heart attack. They panicked and they created this distraction called kidnapping.
Oh, yeah. What you're saying is the ransom note was a distraction because she died, and they didn't. Yeah.
3 days later, the ransom note started on the 3rd. Why didn't it start immediately? If it was really going to be a ransom.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a panic thing. You could see that it's been getting pieced together. It's not something that.
Well, I'll tell you, Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie is very famous and well connected, you know, and she's with NBC. NBC, they do all the true crime stuff you see on television, right? ID, Dateline, and all that stuff. She has access to the top forensic investigators of our time,
right?
And I'm just surprised. You know, if it were my mother, I wouldn't sit back and wait for Kash Patel and this clown sheriff. I would if I were her and had her connections, I would have Mark Furman there and people like that. You know what I mean?
Right. You're a husband, right?
Yes.
Okay. Savannah's husband puts together political campaigns. Okay.
That's right.
Like huge. Why couldn't he have put a campaign together immediately to smoke these people out, to get to the truth immediately?
And they didn't even do a search. They didn't even do a search. It's crazy.
With so much money, with so many lawyers, with so many detectives, not have put everything together to figure this out if it was really what happened.
All right.
Okay.
I appreciate the call. All right, take care. Appreciate the call.
Thank you for your call.
All right, well, it's a theory, Steve. It's a theory. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marty from North Carolina. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Marty. How are you?
Pretty good. I got 2 points, and I got to listen from my phone when I'm driving in, and when I call you guys, I can't hear. So if these points have been brought up, please forgive me. But 2 points that I find really funny about this, it seems odd, is that you always know that something's up when all the media has the same exact script. They say the exact same words. You almost put them simultaneously over each other. And it's word for word.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's got me really funny. That says something's, I don't want to say staged, but something's going on.
Well, what's your theory as to what happened? What is your theory, and who are your suspects?
Well, here's the next point, which will get you thinking about something. These cameras are motion activated, and we seem to only have photos or pictures of them coming in. Now, this 84-year-old woman is fragile. You think they took her out the window or something? No, they had to have taken her out the front door that they busted in.
They took the cameras off. They all the cameras were smashed or taken except the roof camera. They found a camera on the roof a couple days ago, but the camera at the door and the other cameras were damaged and taken down.
Okay, so that brings me to the next point of all that. I can't remember the case, but I was more fascinated on how they caught the guy by starting off with everybody else's Ring cameras to the point they got to a street light camera. Then they started tracking by the street lights.
Correct.
And they caught the gentleman in the case. I can't. So that's kind of got me funny, weird. Something's not quite right with all this.
Well, you know, I saw yesterday they were showing how many street cameras are at the intersections outside of the development. They got more cameras than a TV studio. I mean, there's cameras every which way but loose, because they're always, you know, they got their traffic cameras, red light cameras, the local stores. There's a million cameras right outside the development.
Yeah, and then also with crimes that go down, you know, they say they don't. The police say they don't check cell phone data, but you know, inadvertently to keep themselves legal, they say that. But on the illegal side, they track data and different things through cell phones. And
well, I'll tell you who I will tell you who the leading suspect is right now in the minds of liberals, and that's illegals. And I'll tell you why. Our phone, you know, on today's show, only one liberal is called in. We get liberals only one liberal is called in. They're all lying low. So the liberals are afraid that it's an illegal and think it's an illegal. And you know what I mean? And they're trying to manifest that it's not. But the liberals in this audience believe that this was a Mexican kidnapping or illegals that were working in the area kidnapping or murder to rip her off. Or we'd have liberals on the line too, you know, with their theories. But I only had Doc from Texas, and no other liberals have called in all day long.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just something doesn't fit with all this, because you go steal a candy bar with a mask on from the store, and they'll have you, you know, within hours.
Well, it's but this is what I agree. You know, the cameras on the street though, these people are so liberal on Nancy Guthrie Street. They don't have any street lights, right? Because my street is like Friday Night Lights every night, you know, and my cameras that I have around my house, I can see the next street over and see every car that comes by and everything else, you know, but they don't have any lights on this street because they don't want to cause light pollution. Can you believe that? A light pollution.
Yeah.
So a lot of the cameras,
all the cameras.
Well, the cameras, like if you look at Nancy Guthrie's camera, you get off the front porch, that's it. You lose everything after that.
Well, they at night they switch over to infrared, which lights up quite a bit in the distance. So
this was,
like I said, none of it's fitting together.
Yeah, there's
none of it's fitting together. And
I agree.
hate to say it's staged, but if it's staged, it's done, I would say, carefully and a way to keep, you know what I mean?
But I would say though that Savannah Guthrie is not handling this like a normal person. You know, her and her husband.
How does a normal person react to this?
And she didn't even cry when she was reading her statement. I mean, she wasn't even crying. I mean, your mom's been taken. Man, I'd be in tears. I mean, when my mom passed away, I couldn't even do the thing at the funeral.
I mean, my gosh. Yeah, those of you that saw me online when they shot the president or Charlie Kirk, I mean, I was more broken up over the president and Charlie Kirk than Savannah has been. However, they haven't found the mother yet. But, you know, the Savannah Guthrie and her husband, there's not a person. They could get the Pope on the line if they wanted to. They're that well connected. It's unusual to me that they did not put together a team of top people, including ex-FBI directors and such, and at least do a search of the area on their own, which the police didn't do. They've done nothing. And if I had her resources, if I had her resources when this came out yesterday, I would have been on TV. You know, please, if you know this person, if you recognize these shoes, these pants, this mask, this jacket, these hands, these gloves, please call. Bring mom home.
Well,
bring mom home.
One of those.
No, she didn't.
Exactly.
She hasn't been on TV once. She hasn't been on TV once.
Oh, I said when she was criticized, she went on television.
No, she didn't. She went on Instagram. She went on Instagram.
Exactly.
She didn't. I would be out there.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
you got a great point there.
Yeah, I would. She's a TV person. I would have.
And if that's
I would have NBC.
You don't need a script.
Thank you for your call.
All right, listen, we're late for the break, so I gotta put everybody on hold. I gotta put you on hold, Steve, and everybody else will be right back. I mean, you guys agree with that? If you had her resources, would you be handling it like she has? I would not be. It would be totally different. Okay. Yeah, if you were wondering what I was eating, those were jelly beans. I've got me a big bag of jelly beans. I don't have them here. I just grabbed some and had them here on the desk. Oh my gosh, that's my guilty pleasure. Jelly beans. I love jelly beans. All right. Stand by, guys. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, and it's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's pinned in the live chat. All right. I'm just coordinating with Mike at the radio station. Okay, stand by, guys. Stand by. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Oh, yeah. Great calls today, by the way. And those of you that are new to the program, welcome. We're here every morning, 7 days a week, but Monday through Friday. And this is a live radio show. We're on both AM and FM radio stations and Morning Drive in Florida. And we live stream on YouTube when we're on the air. So the calls you were hearing are a mix. It's radio listeners and people watching on YouTube and other online platforms. Okay. Okay, we're just over a minute. Stand by.
Hello.
Hey Barry, we have just under a minute, and we'll be back.
Okay.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna conference. I'm gonna put you on hold. I'll be right back with you. Hold on. All right, Barry, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm gonna conference Steven. Let me see here. All right, Steve, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I got Barry on the line. We're both here. We've got just over 30 seconds, and we'll be back.
Okay.
All right, so stand by.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning.
Oh, boy. Ten seconds. All right, it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning. Great.
Good, good. Today I was going to talk about the fact that, different people, different families have different needs. And what we do at the Siegel Law Group is we will help clients to the level of their need. Even if it's something, a lot of people will want to come in to do a trust, and the truth is most people do trusts with us. However, there are times where a trust may not be the appropriate choice for the family.
Oh, really?
Either because of their goals or because of their asset level. We had a family in yesterday, a husband and wife that... they were coming in looking for a trust, and, we would do it for them if that's what they really wanted. But once we explained to them the different options, and there really was a way that they could avoid probate without doing the trust, they'd lose out on some of the other benefits of the trust, but they really didn't need it. So we made some suggestions as far as setting up a will-based plan that would still have all the things that the trust plan has, power of attorney and all the health care, the important health care documents, and then special kind of deed that would help them avoid probate for their home, which was their biggest asset. So the point is, we're gonna make suggestions based on what's right for the client. So when you come in for your free consultation, first of all, if you have existing documents, we will review them. And we'll tell you what you got. We'll tell you, hey, everything looks great, there's nothing you need to do. Or we'll tell you where we see some room for improvement or major improvement. And so that's what we'll do. And we will also make sure that we make suggestions that are at the right level and appropriate for you based on your goals, based on your family situation, based on your estate, and issues that come up during that consultation. So that's what we do at the Siegel Law Group. That's why we've been around for almost 25 years now.
You know, and it's interesting thing you just said, Attorney Barry Siegel, because what you're really saying is that every situation, every family, every individual is unique, and you're not doing cookie cutter, one glove, one size fits all for your clients that come in. You take the time to look at the different situations and find what's best for them. Listen, give the Siegel Law Group a call. Make sure you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program. Then you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation in the office at 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782 and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week.
All right, you guys take care.
Thank you,
All
Barry.
right, take care. Take care. All right, you back with us, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to
My
go.
voice has only half joined us.
Oh, you know, yesterday when I couldn't breathe and I told you I had an allergic reaction, and I only had like 50% lung capacity, I found out what I consumed that I was allergic to.
What was that?
It was from coffee I had, walnuts.
Oh,
I had coffee that had walnuts in it, and yeah, maybe I shouldn't tell people that, because if they want to do me in, just feed me walnuts. It was pretty traumatic, but yeah, it was a walnut allergy. That's what happened. All right, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. We've had such great calls. We took that quarter after break really late, so we're really backed up on breaks. But we're going to take calls for the rest of the program today at 888-465-2631. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
IB and Broward. Hey.
IB.
Hello?
Yep.
Hey, Steve, old chum.
What's your
my 2 cents is it's a man. Look at the girth of the neck, and then you have to have a size to pick up the person and leave. So I believe this is about information, and the backpack, I believe, has equipment to break into a safe. Someone wanted her removed because of something she knows, is my opinion, and obviously the ransom is the cover-up. There's something that woman was doing. We have to look at every email that she's done in the last 2-3 years and try to put some connection together there. And the guy, whoever's waiting outside, obviously is a lookout. Why would they be in the house 45 minutes if they just wanted to kidnap her for a ransom? They were obviously in the house looking for something. Now, we had no reporting on if the house was ransacked, what was missing jewelry or what have you, if it was a robbery like that. Then I'm concluding that that lady knew something, and they had to take the body away to make it look like something that it wasn't. And it's the deflection. So I believe it's about information is my point. Now, if you look at the guy's neck and look at the eyebrow is very distinct in the picture, unless it's a part of the mask, and I don't believe it's a part of the mask.
It looks like he plucks his eyebrows. It looks like he plucks his eyebrows.
Exactly.
Well, isn't that feminine? Isn't that a feminine thing? Hold on a second. I don't pluck mine. Do you pluck yours, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do?
When I see my eyebrows.
Really?
I cut them when I get my hair cut.
Oh, the haircut's different.
Did we not?
But you don't do it on your own.
But did we not?
No, my barber does.
Brian, did we not have a lot of trans people doing bad things lately?
Yeah, like this shooting in Canada.
So it doesn't matter. Look at the eyebrow. Look at the girth of the neck. You would have to be a physical size to take the body out. Why didn't they go in the back door? Why did they go in the front door?
I don't know. All this talk, you're using a lot of words I'm uncomfortable with. Going in back doors and girth and such. I don't know. All right, appreciate the call. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break and back to your calls after this. I couldn't resist that one. All right, I'm gonna put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. All right, what do I got to do here? Okay. Stand by, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you could all like the video, that'd be great, too. We're going to go back to the phones when we get back from the break. We're in a radio station break right now. Okay, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Oh, man. So, do you, I think you, when you look at the day, see, you agree with this with me, yes or no? They spent 45 minutes inside the house. That means they knew that it was safe to be there for 45 minutes, right? So that's an inside job. Let me ask the question this way. Yes or no? Family member, yes or no? Responsible, yes or no? Family member, yes or no? I asked the question the other way around earlier. Family member, yes or no? Little informal poll. We got 1 minute. We'll be back. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I am.
1 minute.
Fading
1 minute.
fast.
That's okay. We got, well, there's only 30 minutes left. Less. We'll be back in less than a minute.
I'm going to try to make it.
No. I've been up all night. I mean, this case, I couldn't go to sleep.
I know, it kept me up all night, so I was trying to get to sleep.
Well, because when they do these things on the West, it's mountain time, the time,
Yeah.
Things are happening late.
That's the culprit.
Yeah. If they were on the East Coast, they would have a proper schedule on their kidnappings and such. My family. Most people are saying family member. I'm doing a poll in the chat. Most everyone thinks it's a family member.
Well, there has to be the sister, the brother.
Wouldn't it be something if the person at the door is the sister? Oh my goodness! All right, here we go. Sorry. All right, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. All right, back to the phone, Steve. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got some theories, but I run my mouth all the time. We could just go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Steve and Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, Steve. Crazy story. There's so many ways, so many different ways this could go. I think that I've heard that this family, the father, I mean, obviously, I think that they had connections to the Clintons. I mean, Shell Company, this is right on the border. This could be about a lot more than we're...
Well, how would the Clintons... what would you imagine it would involve the Clintons?
Well, not involving the Clintons per se, but just their modus operandi. Like the Bidens, let's just say the Bidens had...
Oh, you mean sleazy? Yeah, I get that.
Well, it's,
the sleazy factor.
They could be involved in a lot of different things. They could be involved in drug trafficking, trafficking the kids, just because, and who benefits really in the family if it's an inside job, and how much money do they really have?
My guess would be, when I saw the siblings together, I haven't heard any speculation about the brother, other than I know he's ex-military. The sister, who's not as pretty as Savannah, she's not as thin as Savannah, and I'm not even sure she's married to that guy. I keep hearing people refer to him as her partner, They're fine. She's not as pretty, she's not as thin, she's certainly not as famous, and not as rich,
Jealousy,
and there's a lot of anger. Yeah, there's a lot of problems in that family.
Yeah, there could be, there could be, you know, there could be a lot more money. You said they spent 45 minutes in there. Now, there was one camera on the roof that wasn't touched.
Well, I guess they didn't know about it or couldn't get to it, but yeah, they found a camera on the roof the other day.
If it was a family member, I would believe they would have known about that camera and taken it. I think it's most likely, you know, it's most likely just a criminal, a crew that staged, you know, that basically did intel on the place. I mean, you look at they had a crew that came across the border under Biden that cased houses for like 2 weeks. And then they would go in and rob the place blind. I think they were from Venezuela.
Well, you know, you hear stories a lot of these delivery drivers, the Uber Eats and the Door Dashers and all of that, and they case out how. And there's been multiple instances where people have gotten pizzas delivered, and then next thing you know, there's a home invasion.
Yeah, they get a look at what's inside, and they can also judge, you know, what is this person worth. Now they asked for $6 million. I don't know, the $300 in the, you know, in the, I don't know what the hell that is.
They asked for 6 and they'll settle for $300.
Yes.
Yeah,
bus fare.
300. I mean, I don't know what that was, but
I can't even say. Steve and I couldn't even get to Orlando on the Bright Line for that.
Yeah, I mean, $300. You know, maybe they wanted a couple steaks or something.
No, the $300 was. I think the $300. It's like. If you ever Zelle anybody money, you always Zelle a small amount to make sure it goes through. I think that they deposited the $300 to see if the person connected to the account would access it to do a internet IP address search.
I heard your theory on that. I agree, Brian. I believe they can track that stuff.
Absolutely.
At least they can see. They can at least, you know, get a general area, but I think they can actually track it.
I agree.
Tell everybody they can't.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as far as the eyebrows go, I think it's a guy. You know, when you wear a hat like that, it covers up you can see below.
Come on,
below
how many
the
guys
above.
how many guys are going to have a loaded pistol hanging over their privates like that?
You know, listen. I guess they do that in Mexico. I don't know, Brian.
It's a Mexican thing.
Over their penis, flying around like that? No freaking way.
It could be a mad lesbian. I mean, nothing against the lesbians. I don't know, but this is just. You know,
I'm not holding a gun like that. I'm not holding a gun.
There's a lot going on.
All right.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I would say.
I would agree with that. There's always a lot going on, thankfully, or what would we do? We'd have nothing to talk about.
Next.
You know, if you're on hold, hang in there, and if you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You know, if it's a woman, okay, the gun there would obscure whether or not it's a woman in man's pants. There's no doubt about it. But the gloves the person was wearing, they almost look like boxing gloves. They were like mittens I used to wear in the wintertime when I was a little kid.
They look like those barbecue when you barbecue for the grill.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it could be. And all this talk about everything, it seems like the gloves would be the easy. And their first thought was they're trying to hide tattoos inside. The hands are as identifiable as the face. So, but to me, to wear those gloves they're wearing, Steve, you can't do anything with those gloves. You wouldn't be able to pick out the gun. You couldn't even, I don't even know how you would open up a door. And what I didn't, now maybe you've seen this, or maybe somebody in the audience, when they broke the camera there, how'd they get in? Did she let them in? Was the door unlocked? There's a lot of questions here. All right, you want to go back to the phones?
Yes.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Brian.
Yes.
Brian.
Caller.
Hey, I'm going to say something nobody else will say. You look at that guy, it's definitely a Mexican. You can tell by the body. Short, squat, dark hair, dark eyes. It's a Mexican.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Everybody can say it. It's true.
Short,
it's a Mexican.
squat. What was the other one? Short, squat, and what?
Short.
Dark hair, dark eyes, shaves his eyebrows. That's a Mexican.
Okay.
Well, you're really into the stereotypes, aren't you?
Exactly. I mean, whatever. Yeah, well, it is.
I mean, he's not a nice caller.
It is Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. My name is Dave, and I'm from Martin County.
All right,
Hey,
MAGA
Dave.
Martin County.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Brian. I was wondering, I noticed when the intruder, he stepped on the porch, he stepped back off. It seems like he was looking for a key underneath a rock, maybe a bush. He was also looking around on the porch.
Oh, for the hidden key.
And I felt like, right, because I heard there was no forcible entry made. So I feel like maybe it wasn't a family member. A family member would have known exactly where a key would be kept.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it was someone, like you said,
Yeah.
Uber, a delivery man, who kind of staked out the place and then made his move. Because it feels like he was looking for a key.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So you think it was so who's your primary suspect? An illegal or the family?
I felt immediately, before any of this video, I felt like it was a migrant crime.
Yeah.
I felt like it was like a human traffickers.
Kidnapping's a business in Mexico.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Human trafficking, and then they're resorting to Bitcoin as the payoff. It feels like there's some professional or organized crime being really happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I feel like they staked out the joint, and it's not really a family member.
Well,
Because
if you're in the house though,
felt
they
like
were
we
in
got-
the house for 45 minutes. That means that they knew they were very comfortable that no one was going to come by or call or check in. You know, that's inside. To me, that sounds like inside. You got inside knowledge to be that comfortable.
Absolutely, like a contractor. Maybe they did work around the house before. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. All right, MAGA Martin County. Good points. Thanks for the call. Oh, man. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number is 888-465-2631. I think we've heard some pretty good theories today. We've got some...
We've had some great calls. See here, when you're nice to the callers, you see how pleasant they can be?
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
You know,
I don't know. Did I say something controversial?
I mean, I don't know. Was that an accusation? I mean, what
Well,
was
no. Well, some of the callers on your. Come on, you got to admit that.
What?
Some of the callers on the latest edition of the Steve Kane Show are a little bit nasty and.
Well, Steve, there was one guy in the chat room that was telling people to send me walnuts after I told you I'm allergic yesterday. I do not
Very
eat
personal.
You know, any food that listeners send, I don't eat. I throw away or give to Steve. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I remember one time a listener sent us these nice bottles of wine, and I said, I'm not drinking it. It was French wine. And you said, why not? I said, for all I know, Steve, they stuck a needle with laxative through the cork. I'm not gonna drink that wine. I gave it to you. I don't know what you did.
Well, why would you give it to me?
Because you took it. You wanted it. I told you got a bottle, and then you got mine. You had two bottles. But you know what? The reason it's been nicer today, Steve, is because the liberals are afraid it's a Mexican, and they're not calling. That's what it is.
Oh, they don't want to criticize the Mexican. Oh,
Well, they're
that makes
afraid. They're afraid that it might be an illegal. February.
This should be politically incorrect.
February is American Heart and National Cancer Prevention Month, and I was talking yesterday, Steve. These are listeners that have gone to Life Imaging FLA that I've heard from. The guy that found out he had a tumor, the man and woman that had heart blockage, the other callers that found they had heart issues. What they all had in common, all of them, and you heard them call in live on the air. No symptoms of any problems. Isn't that crazy? People have all this major blockage and everything, and no symptoms. It's Valentine's Day coming up. You've got Mother's Day, Father's Day after that. Give your Valentine the gift of you being alive. Okay, get the heart scan, get the cancer screening over there at Life Imaging FLA. They're all about preventative health, and they're saving lives every day. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. We'll be back with the Gold Report after this. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. All right, stand by, guys, stand by. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, and if everybody could like the video, that would help out a lot, if you don't mind doing that. This is all from Cash Patel. I don't know, that looks like a man to me. What do you guys think? But woman called in earlier, said the hips look like a woman. What do you guys think? Is that look like a man or a woman? Hey there, we have less than a minute. Okay, so stand by. I'm going to come from Steve. Stand by. All right, Steve, you there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. But
yeah, I got you. I got you. We got less than a minute. I got William on the line.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we got 35 seconds. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated, as we do every day at this time, with today's Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Metals looking good, Brian. They continue to trade sideways to higher as they continue this bottoming process. And yesterday we saw gold trade in a range of $4,988 all the way up to $5,080 and close out the day down $33.60 at $5,024. Silver was down $2.56, closing out the day at $80.69 the ounce, while platinum was down $34 at $2,085, and palladium was down $27 at $1,691. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $5,025 all the way up to $5,118. Wow. That's a new recent high.
Wow.
And gold rate now gaining back pretty much everything it lost yesterday, up $33.20 right now at $5,058. Silver up $3.41 at $84.10 the ounce. Platinum up $56 at $2,141. And palladium up $35 at $1,726 the ounce. So the markets are doing very well, stabilizing, giving us still a nice opportunity to buy while the prices are still much lower than their recent highs.
How the price? What did you say silver was at today?
Silver is $84.
I thought that's what you said. I had to ask again because I just wanted to make sure I was in such a. How are the silver rounds looking right now? The 1 ounce silver rounds.
Silver rounds are a great buy right now. They're the lowest premium on as far as small size silver that you can buy. So they're actually at a very good value right now, and we have plenty of them in stock at this particular time. So take advantage of those low prices, low premiums, as opposed to some of the country silver coins that are much higher.
And by the way, rounds, that's an ounce of silver, just like the ones that come out from the mints, like the American Silver Eagle or the Philharmonics and all of that. It's just, I guess, I don't know, how do you describe them? It's a generic form. How do you describe what a round is to people?
Yeah, they're made by private mints that in the United States that manufacture 1 ounce silver pure rounds for investors, and they are produced at a lesser premium than the U.S. government issued coins.
And they're pretty cool. A lot of them have really cool designs and images on them. They're really beautiful, the rounds.
Yeah, a lot of people like to collect the different ones.
Yeah, I like the ones with the Indians. They have them, but there's all kinds of, like, I remember you had those Noah Ark ones. Those are really cool. I know you got some of the Noah Ark ones. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. If you can't, stop into his shop, okay? He's in Boca, not too far from Meisner, at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can call him toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and find both his address and phone number online at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thank
All right,
you.
take care. All right, Steve, you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I have lost track of all the lines. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to do my best, guys. I'll never have a job working at a call center in India. I'll tell you that. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Mike in North Lauderdale. How you doing? Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Michael. What's up, Michael?
Just an opinion. My opinion, if this was a kidnapping for money and Savannah and her family was willing to pay just with proof that the mother was alive, why wouldn't the kidnappers show them a picture of the mother being alive?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people think that the ransom...
My thought is that she's not alive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that. My thinking is that she's not alive.
Yeah, yeah, but you know what? Although the age is a factor, but when Elizabeth Smart was returned, that was like shocking because everyone thought, you know what I mean? But she was a young kid at the time, But she could. Nancy may not have made it out of the house. She could have had a heart attack out of shock with these creeps coming in. What's your theory on who did it?
That video.
Are you?
How come there's not the video of her being taken out of the house also?
Yeah.
If they have the video.
Do you think this was an inside job with the family or an illegal? What's your thought?
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think so. If it was family, I think they would have had the case pretty much solved by now.
Yeah.
So they're right there on the Mexican border, and the brother-in-law is Hispanic.
No, he's Italian.
An 84-year-old woman. I mean, really, why take an 84-year-old woman? Did they take her medication with them? I mean,
yeah, same reason most kidnappings are money.
Money, but again, they're willing to pay the money. So just show us a picture that she's still alive.
Yeah, she didn't. She obviously didn't. I thought it was strange that there's some droplets of blood right at the step right outside the house, but there's no trail to where a car would be. She
was probably struggling not to get in the car.
Well, there would be more blood then. There was just.
Not necessarily, I used to get nosebleeds as a kid all the time, and sometimes it was just a couple of drops, just like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would get out of control, but more often than not, it was not a big event.
Mm-hmm. All right, caller. I appreciate the call.
All right. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you.
All right. Well, everyone's got an opinion on this one. That's for sure. It's really split whether it's the family or an illegal. See, a lot of people think, Steve, that the ransom was a distraction to try to divert away from some. The thing about criminals, there's a couple things about criminals. They're stupid. That's number one. It's not like the movies. It's not like Hans Gruber and Die Hard, okay? They're not geniuses. They're mostly stupid.
I don't know how smart Hans was.
Oh, Hans Gruber was very smart, and Die Hard didn't turn out well for him at the end. Bruce Willis was smarter.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
John McClane, but
a long way down.
But a couple things about criminals: they're stupid. I don't care who they are. They're stupid. This idea of the gentleman criminal That's just for movies, you know, so you can have anti-heroes and things like that, you know. And the lack of evidence left behind, though, is really surprising to me. And my guess is they've been to the daughter's house twice to get the car. They went back, but yesterday, when they were canvassing, they were talking to the neighbors of the daughter. And it was reported that they were asking the neighbors of the daughter to view their camera footage from their homes. So, you know, that it seems to all go back. It seems to all go back to every time something always goes back to the daughter's house.
You think all the gains that we made yesterday, you think are out the window now? You think we're going to go back into where we were before yesterday with the no action, no movement, no hope?
There was movement all day. Yes, you know, this guy that they detained and let go, they may still view him as a suspect and let him go so they could see in his panic who he talks to. You know?
Let him go.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you guys about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I was telling Steve, I found my way to Coastal Weight Loss Secret last year, right before the cruise, right? A month before the cruise. Because I wanted to lose 25 pounds before the cruise. Well, we are, I don't know, Steve, 5 or 6 weeks. We're just over a month away from our next cruise. We leave March 22nd on our 10th annual MAGA cruise. Those of you that are going on the cruise, you've got time to lose. You know, I have a bunch of cruise clothes that I only wear one time a year on the cruise. And I put on my swim trunks, and they just, even with me, I couldn't tie them tight enough. They were falling off my body. So I got to buy some new cruise clothes, even though they've only been worn like once or twice because I only wear them on the cruise. But those of you that are going on the cruise, you want to lose weight, you have time. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And by the way, even if you're not going on the cruise, keep the New Year's resolution this time to lose that weight. Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you lose weight no matter where you are in the world. We have listeners all over the United States that have lost weight with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. If you're local, hey, that's awesome. You can go in and meet Dr. Zuckerman in person. He's really good. Give them a call and set up your no-charge consultation right now. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlasssecret.com. All right, now I'm hoping, not predicting, but hoping for an arrest today. I think they have a very strong indication of who did it. And what has me thinking that, Steve, is there's really been no press conferences, right? There's been no press conferences. And the fact that there's been no press conferences, that tells me that they're closing in, right? You know?
When the one time when she got up there, they got a huge response. That was yesterday's response.
Yeah, but and Jake Tapper and some of the other big names from the news are heading there now. So their sources are telling them that they're very close to an arrest. They have a good idea of at least one major suspect that they're closing in on. I would be my guess, because if they didn't, they would be all over TV begging for people to call in and give them tips. And I haven't seen that as much the last couple days, right, since this came out. I was surprised how they released the video and the still images, that they didn't do that in a press conference with Savannah Guthrie. I don't know why they didn't do that, to get more attention and also sympathy, because anyone who knows this person knows who they are. They recognize the shoes, the pants, the stance, the gait, the walk, the clothes, the mask, the backpack. There are multiple people in America who know exactly who this is. So you do a press conference, Savannah Guthrie, I wouldn't say she's exactly this, but she's as close to the American sweetheart type as we have in the media, right? She's a nice journalist, even though she's a liberal, you know what I mean? At least that's her image. And she's celebrity. The power of celebrity is very, very powerful. And they have not used the power of her celebrity really at all. And if they would have had a press conference with Kash Patel, that clown sheriff, and Savannah Guthrie yesterday, with this video, that could have gotten a lot of sympathy for people that recognize the person based on all the factors from the video to try to get them to call.
As we near the end of the show here, you say you think she's alive or dead as of today?
If I had to bet on it, I'd say dead. But I'm hoping for the best, you know. It'd be amazing. Remember, the Unabomber's brother turned him in. Remember? The Unabomber's brother turned him in. And, you know, so there are a lot of people who know who this is. And it could be a cousin, fifth cousin, twice removed. They know who this is. And not having a press conference to get sympathy is strange. Did you see how Savannah Guthrie's note she read was word for word from the senator in Silence of the Lambs?
Yes, I saw that line.
So I don't know if that's just how accurate Silence of the Lambs was in 1991, or
it wasn't supposed to be a documentary.
It was kind of like it, or if they just copied it on ChatGPT and got it for. I don't know how that happened, but a live press conference yesterday, because right now unless they have somebody in mind. Right now, the sympathy of somebody that works with them or a family member is what you're counting on to turn them in. Well, listen, we're out of time for today. Hopefully tomorrow morning we'll have a suspect in custody and Nancy's alive. We'll find out. You know, I hope she's alive. Anything's possible, man. Anything is possible. It's very difficult to dispose of a body. You know, it's not that easy, and they have been. Although I haven't seen the cadaver dogs around the neighborhood. Have anybody seen any video of I haven't seen the cadaver dogs. Well, listen, that's all the time we have for today. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. My name is Brian Craig, and we are here weekday mornings from 6 until 9 a.m. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump, and let's pray that Nancy Guthrie comes home alive. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. All right, we're clear. Hey, listen, all of you that are new, welcome to the program. Make sure you subscribe. And all of you that are already subscribed, please like the video before you go, guys. When you like the video, it helps get the word out there about this video. So please like the video so more people can find out about the channel. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time. Take care.